What's up, guys? Edrone here. Welcome, everyone, to Send to Sunday, episode 31, with special guest Stacey Abshire. It's been a while. Took a little bit of a break from our last stream and did a little bit of upgrades, so hopefully you'll enjoy those tonight. Got a new camera for the stream, so I hope you're liking that. Did some changes to the lighting as well. Special thanks to Dr. Quads for all your expertise on the master lighting. So hopefully you guys are noticing some changes, some positive changes for the stream. Hey, real quick, welcome in my brother Saggy Balls FPV. We got Double A, Johnny DRC, Drone Shots. What's up? Mr. Crowley and his drone. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. We got Michael's Drones and RCs. Man, awesome group. We got Free Lojo FPV. We also got Booster FPV. What's going on, guys? Welcome in. Going to be an awesome stream tonight. So happy you're here to hang out with us. Going to be an awesome stream. And without further ado, please welcome in our special guest of the night, Stacey Abshire. What's going on, brother? Welcome to the show.
Hey, I like that intro. That was pretty sweet.
Yes, I love your flying. I love those clips, and I love when you chased the bikes and everything. I was like, I have to add all that together. I really love it.
Oh yeah, that was
awesome job.
Fun. Those boys just came by. I was out flying just outside the house, and they came by. Well, about flew into them probably going around the side of the house, and they came around. And the first thought that went through my mind was like, oh crap, they're going to be mad. And then they came around, they're like, follow, chase us, come on. And I was like,
they're probably like just so overwhelmed with like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. That you know, they weren't even worried about how close you were. They were just like, this is so cool. This drone's like chasing us around. It's so awesome.
Oh yeah. I don't think they realized how fast it could go.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Well, welcome to the show, man. So happy to have you on the show tonight. And, man, I captured a little bit of your video there when you were talking to the camera, but, man, you just have so much charisma on camera. It's just, I love it. Like, every time I watch your videos and you're talking to the camera, it's just so natural. Right. You just have such a natural talent to just talk to your viewers, and it's just so genuine.
Yeah, it wasn't that way for a long time. Before, I used to, when I first started actually talking to the camera and stuff, I can remember, and I still do occasionally, but not as much as I used to, but I would be like, you know, talking real low and looking around, making sure nobody was watching and all that stuff. And then finally, I don't know what happened. I eventually got to the point where I was like, I don't care. They can, you know, people think I'm a weirdo anyway, so it'll be all right, you know.
That's right. When you start talking to the camera, there's other people around and they're looking at you like, what are you doing? But you're in your zone. You know who you're talking to, right? And you just talk to the camera like you're talking to your viewers.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me at all now. I mean, especially now with the flying and with the goggles, and I've got the mic and stuff on there now. And I'll be down at the park here or whatever, and I'm sitting there talking to myself, and people are walking by while I'm talking. I'm sure they think I'm weird, but, you know. Nobody said anything, so I guess it's all right.
That's all right. You're out there having some good old clean fun, man. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And man, what a lovely beard you got, man. That is one heck of a beard. How long has it taken you to grow that?
So I started this, I think it was 2011 or 2012. I think it was 2011. Anyways, wow. I used to hate shaving. And I despised it because like my skin's like sensitive, and so like it would get this bad razor burn, you know, it was just awful. And so finally, I've been watching the Duck Dynasty stuff like for a while, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to see what happens. I'm just going to not shave, and we'll see what it does. And so that's what I did. And at first it was terrible. Like it came in not like here, it came in on my neck. Like so I had like a neck
Oh,
beard like forever, and it was like real patchy up here. It was awful. But eventually it all kind of came in, but man, it was terrible looking for a long time. So
that's
I,
what
I
I
was
hear as
I was
well. I
questioning my
hear that
decision
like
at first, but I let it go and it all came in. So
yeah, I hear like at first it's like
like it's real
grueling
itchy.
and like pain in the butt, but then after it gets out and it gets long, it starts to
Yep.
soften up and get a little bit more comfortable than when you're first
Yeah,
starting out.
Yeah, I've got a few things that I put in it. Like, there's a company that puts out some stuff that I get, and they have like a beard butter type stuff. And so I
There
get just
you
a little
go.
bit of that, and I use it kind of like a gel almost, but it's not really like a gel, but it just kind of helps to hold stuff in place. And
Like a
so I'll
beard
even put it in my
balm.
hair. Yeah, it's kind of like a balm.
Yeah,
It works really well though. It's helped to soften it up and to straighten it. Because man, for a while, the longest before I started using that stuff, it was a nightmare in the mornings. Like it'd just be like everywhere. And I can never get it back. But now in the morning, I get up, I just put a little bit of water on it and just run the comb through it a little bit, and it's nice and straight again. So it's not too bad. But man, there for a while, it was
absolutely.
it was pretty sketchy.
Real quick, welcome in AZ Drone Dude. Good to see you. I'll be Drone. What's up, Dano? Good to see you, brother.
Oh,
We got
nice.
One Vision Aerial, and we got my lovely fiance Rebecca Adams. Hey, sweetheart. Thanks for stopping in, baby. Appreciate your
Oh,
support.
nice.
Awesome, man. So happy to see all the support tonight and the love. I'm a little
Yeah.
rusty. I feel a little rusty. I took a little bit of a break from my last live show, so I'm hoping that I've still got it.
Well, shoot, I haven't posted anything. Well, I finally posted a video today. I went out this morning and was flying. I was like, I better post something. I need to post something. Like I hadn't
Yeah.
posted anything like 2 weeks. I've been kind of slacking. But my daughter was down visiting for a week. And so she was down and
Nice.
then um, the week we took her back and then we've had some car trouble that we've been dealing with and I'm still stranded here. My car, the alternator decided to die on it, and the guy came out today to
Ah.
replace the alternator, and we found that the the power cord that goes to the alternator, it had melted because the alternator had shorted. We
Oh
made it
no.
home from the airport after dropping my daughter off at the airport, and I don't know how we made it home. We made it home, and as soon as we pulled in, there was like smoke coming out of the hood, and it just made an awful noise. But he came out to replace it, and then found that that cable was melted. So now I gotta reschedule. I have somebody come out
Man,
now and
thank gosh you didn't have
do
a
that.
fire.
I
Wow.
know exactly. That's what I got in, and I pulled in, and I popped the hood, and there was like some smoke coming out, and I was like, "Oh crap!" And so I got the battery disconnected from it, and um, I tested it, and the battery was reading like 5 volts. So before we pulled
Oh
in, like
man.
it popped up a little thing on the thing that said battery saver active, and then it like shut the AC off. It started shutting things down on the car and stuff while we were driving
Yeah.
in. It was pretty bad, but we
It's
made it
not a
home
good
safely.
experience. I've had
No,
alternator die on me like while I was driving, and everything just shuts down. Like you're just like, what's going on? The gauges just start
yep,
going crazy, and you're like,
yep, that's
what's going on? Is this some kind of like EMT or something around here? Like,
yep, that's
wow.
exactly what it was like. I mean, yeah,
Not
but
a good
thankfully we
feeling.
made
You
it,
lose
and I
all control, and you're just like, I don't know what's
exactly,
going on, but I'm not letting go of this wheel.
yeah, I made it, and I got all the way actually into the garage and parked and shut it off, and thankfully I pulled in far enough that I could shut the garage door, but I didn't have to worry about that after the fact. So thankfully I got it all the way in and got that stopped. But he came out to look at it and found the other thing, so now I've got to wait on another
Well, I'm
part to
so
get
glad
in,
that
and
you and
yeah,
your family are safe and okay, and hopefully get the car fixed up back in no
yep.
time, get you back on the road. What's up,
Thank
Blizzard
God.
FPV? Good to see you, brother.
Heck yeah. Yeah, we the COVID stuff actually has made this pretty nice actually, where everything got started up with all the deliveries and stuff. So now, we had a bunch of groceries delivered today, so that was pretty handy. So,
Nice. We
so
utilize
yeah.
that as well. It is super convenient in the busy world
Oh
we live
man.
in. That's for sure.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
So, a question I like to ask all my special guests is
Yeah.
on the sticks when you're
Yep.
flying FPV, are you a pincher, thumber, or hybrid?
pincher currently. And when I started though, I was a thumber, and then I ended up getting to pinching because when I first started, I was trying to learn acro. I had a real bad tendency with this thumb to want to like veer and introduce yaw when I was trying to just do throttle. And so I ended up being like a thumber on the right stick, and then I was like doing a hybrid thing on the left stick, and then eventually I switched them both over to the pinching. But at first, it was real uncomfortable to figure out how to hold the controller and pinch. It took me a while to get it down, but now it feels normal. But
wow, so I mean, basically, you've flown like every single style. I mean, you've done pretty much. You've done hybrid pinch, thumb, and then full pinch.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've kind of done all of them. I like the pinching. It gives me a little more control on not pushing the sticks too far. Although for a while when I ran higher rates, I'd have a tendency to not be able to actually get full deflection. It took me a while to kind of adjust to that. So then as I lowered my rates down, I've gotten better at getting full deflection with the pinching and stuff. It's kind of hard to push them all the way, when you're pinching.
Yeah. That was a reason I love the Tango 2 the gaming pad style remotes for me, because I just use all thumbs.
Oh, and yeah, those are perfect for that setup.
Yeah, with that remote, like I felt like I had like full stick deflection, and then I ended up getting the thumb grippies, and that made it even better. Because with the thumb grippies, I feel like I have way more control. I tried pinching, and it feels so unnatural that I just couldn't get past it. I know if I kept doing it over and over again, I might be able to adapt, but it just felt so weird.
Yeah, it's weird until once you get. It took forever. I mean, it took me forever to get used to it. But I did it because I was so bad with putting yaw in when I was just wanting throttle up and down. When I was first learning acro, that I had to do something. So I was doing that on the one side and doing thumb on the other side, and then that felt really weird. So eventually I got to do the same on both.
It pretty much feels like you're like starting all over again. Like all your muscle memory is just gone.
Yep.
So, like, if you ever get to a point where you're bored with FPV and you're like, oh, man, go ahead and switch it up. If you're a pincher, try thumbing, and if you're a thumber, try pincher. It'll feel like you're starting all over again.
I think I've flung with thumbs twice since switching, and both of those times I had forgot to put my lanyard into my bag, and so if you pinch, it's next to impossible. You can do it, but it's almost impossible to pinch and not have something to support your controller.
Right.
And so I ended up doing thumbing and stuff with it, and oh my god, it felt so weird. But I managed to fly a few packs with it a couple of different times, but I ended up.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it was weird. I was loosey goosey on the sticks then. So.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Windshield? Good to see you, brother.
Cool.
Thanks for stopping in. He said he had the same progression as well, so awesome.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Johnny D says, thumb the X-Lite and pinch the Boxer. There you go. Got another crossover there. Excellent, man.
Double A says he's a pincher and he doesn't use a lanyard.
And he does use, okay.
Yeah, he doesn't use it, so I've done it, but man, it ain't easy.
Yeah.
He might have bigger hands than me, but I got pretty good sized hands, but
Yeah. I noticed your progression. You really have progressed nicely in the hobby with your flying. You have gotten really smooth, and I guess some of that would be attributed to the pinching. You feel like you have more control, and you just got to a point where it just clicked, right?
Yeah, I think the bigger change for me. So when I started out, probably like a ton of people, at least the ones who's been in as long as I have, we all started out flying Mr. Still rates, which are ridiculous. But, so, flying Mr. Still rates and like 45-degree camera angle because, that's the cool thing. I don't even know how we survived, flying those things that way at the beginning. But so I started out that way, and I gradually lowered my rates down over and over and over. And when I moved down here, I think then I was flying about right around like 650 or so, like across the board. And then I'd been watching Bubby for a while, and he had posted something about flying low rates. And so I sent him a message and I said, so just what are your rates? And he laughed. He goes, you don't want to follow those rates. I said, yeah, sure I do. I want to try them out. And he goes, all right. He goes, this will be interesting. And so he sent them over to me, and I was like, okay, yeah, those are pretty low. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna commit to it. And so I committed to flying those for like a month. And I mean, they're low. It's like 4 something on. I think he's even lower now, but at the time it was like 4 something on pitch and roll, and it's like 180 on yaw.
Oh wow!
It's like ridiculously low. And so when I first started, man, I about crashed like over and over. But then after I flew it for a while, I started to find that it actually helped my flying because I was real bad about overreacting. And so having that extra resolution kind of helped me to hone in that overreacting on the sticks and not react too soon. And find that I didn't need to react too soon. So I've kind of stuck with them. I'm still flying those same really low rates since that was, man, when was that? That was probably been about 2 years ago, I guess now, that I started doing that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well,
so I fly with really low rates.
Yeah, speaking of that, that'd be a good transition.
Cool.
Hey, what's going on, Happy FPV? Good to see you, brother.
You made it in. Hybrid country.
Yeah, nice. I was thinking that'd be a good transition to talk about how you got started with FPV, Stacey. Like if we go back all the way to the beginning, how did you first get started with FPV?
So I was big into RC ground vehicles for a long, long time. Same. I kind of got out of them for a few years, and like every Christmas I would go online. I would find something that was interesting that I wanted to buy for myself for Christmas, some new toy or something. And so I was looking. It was 2014, and I was looking for some RC stuff, and I stumbled across. There was the company Traxxas. They had a company they started up called Latrax.
Yeah.
And they had a little tiny toy drone, the Alias. And I watched some videos on it, and I was like, that looks pretty neat. And so then I was like, I think I'm going to get one of those. So I ordered it. And while I was waiting on that to get there and waiting on Christmas, I started looking for drone videos. And I stumbled across Sharpoo's videos. And then that just like took me. I was like, oh man, I got to do that. That's like the coolest. So I got that thing in, and I was trying to do that kind of stuff with that thing, and it's not designed for that kind of stuff. So I quickly, it's like, okay, I got to get something else. And so I came across HeliPal, and they had a 250 size drone. It was on 3S at the time. I think it had 2204 motors. I think it's what it was. I think it was 2204 motors on 3S with like the old HQ 5x3 props, the really low pitch props. So, I mean, it had no thrust whatsoever really. But at the time for me, it had a whole lot of thrust. So I bought that, and it was set up for FPV, but I didn't have goggles or anything. Didn't have money for that then. So I was trying to fly this thing live sight. That was a disaster. Like the first day out, I was flying, and I went down to the ball field, and there's some bleachers there, and I flew around, and I crashed into the bleachers and broke an arm. Like first day, and I got to go order parts, and it takes like 2 weeks then to get stuff, because this all comes from China, and it was on the slow boat.
Yeah, and this is 2000 and you say 18?
It was 2014, and then I got that drone in 2015, like the first part of 2015. Like,
oh wow! So you were getting an FPV right before I actually did. Wow, you've been in for a while.
Yeah, that was back when they had the cameras and stuff that were on it were like the big board cameras, the big giant flat boards on them, and they were mounted straight, no angle, nothing had an angle to it.
We're the only FPV store that was Banggood.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, so, I flew that thing for a while, line of sight, and I was starting to learn some of the acro stuff with it, but not actually flying acro, like doing the angle mode where you full deflection, the roll or whatever. And I was starting to learn some of that stuff with it, and I was flying it at the barn where my daughter was riding horses at the time. And I was just doing these, loops around stuff, and it got way out away from me, and I lost orientation on it. I mean, it was like over the mountain, and I was like, oh crap! But I didn't panic. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get this back. And so I just like gradually turned the sticks to get, and I finally got it back in sight, and I had it flying toward me, and then the battery, like it was like probably like 7 or 8 minutes into this flight, and finally the battery just gave out, and I watched it fall from the sky onto the mountain, and I never did find it.
Oh
So
man.
yeah, that was a painful lesson. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to build one, and I bought the stuff to build one with the GPS. And so I got the DJI NASA flight controller, and I got like the flame wheel frame. But it was like the knockoff. It wasn't the real one. And then I got some Turnigy motors. I think they were like 950 kV or something. And then like these big giant floppy 10-inch props, and it had the GPS and the landing gear and that whole thing. And so I flew that line of sight with the GPS for a long time. And then I finally got some box goggles and put FPV on it. So I was flying it, with the GPS assist and everything, out, pretty far away and stuff, because I was confident in, return to home and everything. It worked pretty well. And I'd get probably like 20 or 30 minute flight times out of that thing. It was crazy.
Wow.
But I decided that it was too boring. I wanted to learn some of the acro stuff, so I decided I was going to learn acro with this thing. And so I found that you could put that DJI NASA into manual, and so you have full control over it.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with manual on that thing is, one, it has a maximum rotation of like 180 degrees per second, so really slow. And of course, there's no air mode or anything on that. So you had to keep some throttle in when you were going upside down. If you drop the throttle all the way, it would just like lose his mind.
Wow.
So
what's up, Night Train? Welcome in, brother.
I learned acro on that thing. I don't know how. There's still videos on my channel, like really old videos. You can see me flying that thing in acro. It was terrible. Flew like a dump truck.
Then this is the first time I've ever heard about anybody actually getting started in FPV with one of those Traxxas drones.
Yeah,
that's really cool. Like, this is the first story I've ever heard. I've
that
heard a
thing
lot
was actually,
of the DJI, the Potato, the FPV drone,
man.
but I've never heard of anyone actually getting started with the Traxxas drone. So that's really cool. Hey, Nappy FPV just became a new member.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate that. And let me go ahead and get Carlton to his feet, because that's really awesome, man. I really appreciate you showing your support to the channel. Greatly appreciate you becoming a new member, so thank you so much. That's awesome.
Very nice. Very nice.
Love it.
Yeah, that Traxxas drone was actually kind of cool. It actually had, I learned later, I've still got it. It's still in West Virginia. I need to get it back down here and tinker with it some more. But it actually had a manual mode. You could actually fly it full acro. But it was like the DJI one where it doesn't have like any type of air mode, so you have to keep some throttle in when you go upside down. But it could do full manual, I found out later, but I never did mess with it when I had it.
Yeah. So let's talk about your slogan. Yeah. I have it here on the banner. I really love your slogan. It's never stop flying. I love that.
I don't know when I started doing that. Like at one point, I had a thing where I was like doing this, be an inspiration or something. I don't remember what it was. And then I transitioned away from that. I only remember where I got the idea to never stop flying. I think it might have been watching some of Nurk's stuff, and I wanted something different and something similar or something different. I think that's what it was, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
And then I think I said it once and it kind of stuck. People liked it, so I just kind of went with it. So
absolutely.
Kind of stayed.
Well, I like it so much that I want to go ahead and do a giveaway of this shirt right here. Hashtag never stop flying. And this is going to be for my U.S. Viewers here. If you are in the U.S., it is giveaway time if you are in the U.S. So get ready for the hashtag. I really love the gray with the white and the contrast. It's really nice.
Yep. That's the one I wear all the time.
And I believe there is multiple colors, so whoever wins
Yep.
this, you will have choice of color and obviously size. And all you're going to have to do is put the hashtag in here and have a valid email address. Give me 1 second. I'm going to type this in. All right. Well, yep, you guys guessed it. If you would like a chance to win the Never Stop Flying t-shirt here and you're in the U.S., go ahead and type it in now. Hashtag Never Stop Flying. Go ahead and type that in. And I'm going to actually be buying 2 of these, one for myself.
Nice.
Yeah, help support you, brother.
Yeah.
I love that slogan.
I'll check this out. I'll show you this to you too.
Oh yeah, let me hide this for a second.
Yeah. So there's hats too you can get.
Nice.
It takes that little thing that like wraps it around. It's kind of funky hat.
I tell you what though, those funky hats will keep you cool when the sun's beating down and it's like 90-some degrees or 100 degrees. You're happy you have that funky hat on.
Heck yeah, it works pretty good. I like it.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Comfy. I wear it all the time. I think Nappy picked one up sometime back. I remember he sent me a picture. He got one.
Oh yeah. Go ahead and share the screen here. There's the hashtag, guys. 4 entries. That's all the people in the U.S. Come on, keep putting them in. Hashtag Never Stop Flying. We got a couple extra people hopped in as well. In the Woods, good to see you, brother. And we got GQP. Welcome in. Welcome in.
Very nice.
Yep. And I want to talk about, he said I need a small. Do the hats come in different sizes as well?
It's like a one-size-fits-all type of thing. It's kind of stretchy though. It's got like it's got like this netted mesh in the middle of it. It's kind of stretchy. It fits pretty good. I mean, even if you've got a big head, it's not too bad.
Nice.
It's pretty comfy.
And I hear you have a twin out here in FPV as well. Someone that looks very similar to you and has the full beard and everything.
Oh, really?
I believe it's Pierre Lewis.
Oh,
Lewis?
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, he messaged me and sent me a picture, and I was telling my wife, and I showed her, and she's like, "That's scary."
You guys could definitely be like brothers, man. I'm not even kidding.
Oh man, yeah, very. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
He even has a beard like his, just isn't his own.
Yeah. Booster wants to know, where can he get your merch at? Your website. Feel free to type that in the chat.
Oh yeah, let me get that here.
And I may have to make you. All my special guests do become moderators.
Okay.
So go ahead and type in the chat just anything, and I'll go ahead and make you a moderator now.
All right. There's the link. I may have to type it again.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll make you a moderator, and then that way you can let me see if I see your comment. I don't see it in there yet. Did you type it in?
Not blocked. I was typing a regular comment, and you can see it there.
There you are. Gotcha. Let me go ahead and add you as a moderator.
All right, then I'll put that in.
All right, now you're a moderator, so you should be able to go ahead and drop the link to your website.
There we go. Yeah, there it is.
See how that? There we go. Boom. Excellent. And while I'm in here passing out some wrenches, Saggy Balls, you definitely get a wrench. Appreciate you, brother.
That's a great handle. That's funny.
I know. That's one that you don't forget. That's for sure.
No, definitely not.
booster's been around for a while, so boom, you get a wrench as well. In the
Cool.
woods, you have been around as well, so you get a wrench as well. Excellent. Yo, there he is, my boy Fly Zone Drone. What's up? Good to see you, brother. Get my
Nice.
sound effects back up. There we go. And we got my man Michael Blade FPV. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. All right, guys. Go ahead and type it in if you haven't. And if you're in the U.S. and you want a chance to win this awesome Never Stop Flying Stacey Abshire Drone Swag t-shirt here, I'm going to be giving one of these away to one lucky viewer in the U.S. And we're going to do an international giveaway towards the later half of the stream. Hashtag Never Stop Flying. All right, let's see how many we have. We got 9 entries. Anybody else?
Nice.
Going to get ready to wrap it up and go ahead and pick a winner here. Yeah, it's an awesome shirt. I'm going to be picking one up for myself as well. Yeah, so I wanted to ask you, man-to-man, FPV pilot.
Yep.
What do you think causes people to stop flying?
Man, I don't know. I've wondered that for a while because there's
Right.
there's a lot of people who I think still fly, but they don't post. So you've got that group. Some of those are people that just got tired of posting, I guess, or they get burned out on trying to come up with something to top somebody else. But they still fly. I think, like Schizo, I think he kind of fits in that camp. He still flies, he still does RC stuff, but he doesn't really post too much anymore. Definitely don't post any videos on YouTube, just some stuff on Instagram here and there.
Yeah.
I think he just kind of gets burned out on trying to top somebody else, I think that's probably one thing. Some of the guys now, they've got out of posting, they've got into doing all the commercial stuff, So, but as far as like the people that just completely quit, I'm not sure. I mean, my guess is probably they don't have someone to fly with, someone to kind of keep them motivated, or maybe they don't think they're as good as somebody else, maybe, and they don't think they're making any progress, and so they have this idea that, well, why am I even doing it then if I'm not getting any better or whatever? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I think if you're not flying for yourself, if you're not flying for yourself and you're kind of flying for other reasons, I feel like that kind of can lead to you kind of running out of maybe new ideas, new tricks.
Right.
Maybe you're just not progressing anymore. And then time, right? Like I feel like the hobby takes a decent amount of time. Between like if you're working and you got a family. I mean, the hobby can take a decent amount of time as well. Some good suggestions in the chat as well. Johnny D RC says money absolutely can get a little bit expensive. And then Double A says, that's a good one there. The rules, that's a big one. I think people get irritated,
Oh yeah, you got that aspect of it, and I think people sometimes forget that it is just a hobby. It's not like, it's not life or death. It's a hobby. You do it for fun. If you're trying to do it to prove a point, you're probably not going to enjoy it. Unless you're just really good and you've got really good skills and stuff and you progress quickly, in that case, then you might. But if not, and you're like most people and you progress at whatever, a normal progression rate is, and depending on how much time you've got to devote to it or whatever, you can quickly get burned out because, you're not really, well, I'm not as good as this person if you get in that comparison mode or whatever,
Yeah, I mean, let's flip the coin and say, okay, well, maybe this isn't just a hobby for you, right? Let's say maybe you are doing this to put food on the table. The constant need to perform, to be able to top your last video. I mean, that's a lot of pressure. And I think that pressure can lead some people to just be like, I just can't take this pressure anymore, and just be like, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm gonna find something else to do. This is too much work. Yeah,
Yep.
it could
Nappy
be. I
says
mean,
he gets sick of their spots. Yep. I can see that being a
well,
thing.
I've had that when I
Mm-hmm.
was. Well, I've had that even here, but I mean, we've got like I've got a list of spots. And I think I've got I don't know 400 or so spots down here marked on a map. Um, we got like tons of places to fly, but even with all of those spots, you can't always get to all of them easily. You know, a lot of them are like weekend only type things. You can't always get to wherever and a little bit of a drive or whatever. And so you fly the same spots that are close and convenient and you get bored with it.
Yeah.
Um, it used to be real bad when I was in West Virginia because I only had a few spots to fly.
Yeah. And gotta
And it
find
would,
new spots.
yeah, and then
Weather. That's another one. Weather
weather's a,
can.
weather's a biggie. I don't have that problem now. Used to have that problem a lot. You know, it would get, and I'd go out and fly. It would be like 20 degrees, the wind's howling, and like, your fingers are numb. And you're like,
What's
okay,
up,
I'm done.
Werewolf FPV? Good to see you. I was wondering if you guys could hear
Oh, that's a
that,
cool
and
name.
you can. So I'm gonna go address this battery situation real quick, and I'm gonna have my man Stacy entertain you for just a second, so I
Oh
can
boy.
I can turn this annoying beeping off for my batteries.
Yeah, mine's in the garage. I got them shut off already. I have to go out periodically and check on them, make sure the house isn't going to burn down or something. But yeah, woohoo! I'm in control. Oh man, I don't know what to talk about. I have no idea what to talk about. Oh, I can tell you what I've been talking about. So this is what I've been doing probably for the last few weeks. That's why I haven't been posting. So I've been playing with HD0, and I've been flying in the 1080p 30 mode. Um, I don't recommend it, but if you want a challenge, it's kind of interesting to try to fly freestyle at 30 FPS. Um, Definitely not easy to do. I'm kind of getting used to it now, though. I've been doing it now for about 2 weeks, and I'm kind of getting used to it, almost to the point that it's actually becoming normal. I'm kind of afraid to put my camera back in 60 frames a second mode. I don't know what that's going to be like if I do. I'm sure it'll feel really weird,
I
but
heard they have a 1080 60 for the DVR in the
yeah,
works.
the DVR records 1080 60, but it's just
Mm-hmm.
doubling frames. So like it's still 30 FPS, but it's
Mm-hmm.
doubling the frames, and so you get the video looks a lot smoother, like when you watch it back.
Which
Um,
that would be probably a little bit more. I actually do want to get into that after we go ahead and pick the winner because I had a whole nother segment I wanted to get into.
oh yeah,
Let's go ahead and pick the winner, guys. Good luck to everybody for the Never Stop Flying shirt here. And here we go.
who will it be?
Hey, Fly
Fly
Zone
Zone Drone.
Drone!
Nice,
You won, brother! Congrats,
very
man.
nice.
That's awesome. Let me get my little Carlton up on his feet. Congratulations, man. You are the winner, Fly Zone Drone. So in order to claim, yeah, you win, man. You won.
Sweet,
You won.
very sweet.
You know what you got to do, brother. You got to send me an email at emarvel09@gmail.com with your shipping information. And I will get that ordered and shipped well, I'll get it ordered this week. I'm not sure when it'll ship. I'm pretty sure it'll ship this week when I order it, but it will be ordered
Yeah,
this week, my
Sea
friend.
Spring's pretty quick.
Yeah. Congratulations. And welcome
Very
in
nice.
Rat RH as well. Good to see you, brother.
Nice.
And 107 Drones, what's up? Good to see you, man. Glad to see you in the house tonight.
Very
All
cool.
right. Oh, got me. The confetti's overflowing.
It's piling up on the floor.
That's right. So congratulations, guys. Thank you all for entering. And yeah, if you didn't win this one, don't be upset. There's going to be plenty more giveaways to come on the channel. So
Yep.
make sure you're subscribed and click that bell icon so you get notified first when I put out new content and live streams. And make sure you check out in the video description the link to Stacey Abshire's channel. You're going to want to check him
Yeah.
out as well and see what he's got going on. awesome entertainer, awesome creator and pilot. Definitely
Appreciate
keeps
that.
me on my toes and has a good positive attitude when it comes to the hobby. And I love that he shares his knowledge about what he goes through with the whole HD0 process as
Oh
he's
yeah.
been going through that. And I wanted to talk to you about, I noticed that you've been posting mostly DVR of your
Yep.
HD0, and I love it. I love the rawness of it. And
Right.
I wanted to ask you, like, what kind of made you to be like, you know what, I don't even need a high def camera anymore. Like, I'm perfectly happy with just posting like my HD0 DVR. And yours looks really good too, by the way. Like, you've done a lot of
Yep.
things to your DVR that I feel make it very enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, there's a few tricks with. I've even got a video where I go through some of the stuff on what I'm doing to get better quality out of it. Because I mean, it is DVR. It's not GoPro footage by any stretch, but it looks pretty good after you do a little bit of processing to it. But the main reason that I kind of switched um, to that, and I toyed with getting rid of an action camera a long time back, long before HD0 stuff, when I was still flying analog, and I messed with like the split cameras and the what's the one that had like the two cameras from
Oh,
Runcam?
the
I can't
split?
remember now. It wasn't the split was like the one that had like the single, but this has like two. I don't think it was a split, was it? It had
There was the
two.
Runcam split, and I think there was
I
a
can't remember. Hybrid, that's what it was. Hybrid.
okay, hybrid.
Um, yeah, so I toyed with that for a while, and the reason that I did that at the time was I got tired of breaking GoPros. Um, at that point, I didn't have like the insurance or anything on them, and I was still running like some older versions of them, and so there's no insurance. If you break them, you're buying new ones, and that kind of
Mm-hmm.
sucked.
Yeah, it
Um,
does.
so I toyed with that for a while, but that stupid hybrid camera, it was just as finicky as the GoPros. It would stop recording for no reason. I had to
Yeah.
fight with keeping the SD card in. It liked to eject, um, and then you lose it, and you lose all your footage, and that's no good. So I ended up going back to the GoPro for a while, and then when I got the HD0 stuff, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try to use this. It records in 720. I just want to see how it looks. I kind of like the look of it, and so I decided to do it. Mainly, I had. Let me get my drone here. I'll show you. So at the
Yeah.
time, I had on here. I was running a session, so I had my session sitting on top of there, and I had a mount that I designed for it, and it just
Oh, the
yeah.
session.
I got two of them.
I got one
Yeah,
left. What's up,
I've
Sergio? Good
got
to see you,
two.
brother.
Got two, and I got them like really cheap. I got them less than $100, brand new. Well, they're not new, but they're like new. I mean, they're in really good shape. Um, but the stupid mount kept breaking. Like the mount would break. The camera was fine, but the mount would break, and then the camera goes flying off, and you got to go track the camera down, and then or the GoPro decides every once in a while to not record for whatever reason, or you forget to charge the battery, and so then you don't have anything to record with. And I was like, man, I'm getting tired of that. I just want to fly, but I want to have some footage that if I decide I want to share it, I want to be able to do that. And so when I got the
Absolutely.
HD0 stuff, I was like, I like this. But at first I was like, I don't like it because it's got all the OSD stuff on it. And then I figured out you could turn that off and you still have it in the goggles, but it doesn't record it. And I was like, yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I want. So that's what I ended up doing. And I've just kind of stuck with it. So,
And I definitely agree with Windchill. He says that he likes the raw rips, and I like it
oh,
as
yeah.
well. Like, I like the rawness of it. And you
Yep.
actually inspired me to when I built my 3-inch ASBO, and the video is on my channel, guys. So if you want to check that out, I do a full build video on my 3.5-inch ASBO. Awesome little ripper. I decided to go ahead and make that HD0 and utilize the new 90 FPS camera.
Oh, nice.
And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm not even going to bother putting a high definition camera on it. I want this thing to be raw like my man Stacey. I want this
Yep.
3.5-inch ripper, when I go out and
Yep.
rip it, I want to just post raw DVR with it and share that on my channel, just like
Yep.
you do, man. So thank you for
Well,
inspiring me.
The other thing I found with it is kind of improves your flying because, every mistake you make comes through in the DVR.
I
You
know,
know, there's,
right?
I mean, even if you record with like the session and it doesn't have hyper smooth or anything, and still yet because of the way the camera angle is and stuff, it still kind of smooths things out. Um, and you don't get the real feeling for what you're seeing in the camera and what you're doing and stuff. So
Yeah,
I like it. I like it. It's been pretty nice. It's not top end footage, but I'm flying for fun and sharing the
I
fun
love
of
it.
it. Yeah.
I love it. I think it's raw, and the rawness of it, I really enjoy it. And
Yeah,
you've
it's
got
been
it laid
fun
out
doing.
really nicely to where the OSD, isn't overlaying, and it's more of a crisp. You can just
Oh
kind
yeah.
of get immersed a little bit more when you're watching it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think the OSD takes away from that when you're using it to share. So I
Yeah.
think that's exactly what I'm going to do with the ASBO. I'm going to click that setting where you can still
Yep.
see the OSD when you're flying, but the DVR doesn't pick it up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool too because I mean, like when I first saw that, the reason I didn't mess with it, I thought it was just like the HD0 OSD elements, but it turns off all of the OSD. So like you still have all your Betaflight stuff on the
Mm-hmm.
screen, everything, but it turns all of that off. It doesn't record any of that. So you get
Yeah.
like, it's pretty slick. It's pretty
It
neat.
makes it way
So,
cooler, I think, for sharing.
oh
If
yeah.
if you're looking to use that, as a raw share, because
Yep.
you don't. It just makes you. I feel I get way more immersed watching your DVR than if I watch someone's DVR that has the OSD elements in it. I feel
Yeah,
like
the
I can get a
OSD
little
can,
bit more immersed.
yeah, it can be a little distracting.
I
It's definitely
appreciate
got
your
its purpose
feedback on
though.
that, brother. Thank you.
Yeah.
I try to
Yeah, it's
make
got,
put some money back into the channel and do an upgrade on the camera. So I really appreciate your feedback on that. Hope you guys are enjoying it a little bit better and bring you a little
yeah, it
bit
looks good.
closer to my basement.
Yeah. It looks good. I mean, I would have never thought that it was just a webcam, so it looks really nice.
Yeah, I put a link to the camera on my community tab.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's a Razer Kaio Pro. It's
Okay.
real popular for gamers. A lot of gamers
Okay.
use it. It has like the autofocus and it has the HDR, so it's got like the high dynamic range, and it
Yeah, it
has
looks
like some
nice.
settings and stuff that you can really tweak. And then once you get your lighting dialed in, special shout out to Dr. Quads. I got my lighting dialed in a little bit better, and that really made a huge difference. I had no idea like how much lighting really can make a camera
Oh
like
man.
just
Yeah.
take off.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Razer puts out some pretty good stuff. I know my son uses it for his computer. He's got the keyboard that lights up and does all that. You can program it to light up all kinds of different ways and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. They put out
I
good
will.
stuff.
I'll see what I can do, my brother. I'm trying to get to some events this year for sure. So I will see if that's in the cards. I will definitely let you know. Absolutely, man. I would love to be there. I'd love to be able to go to every event if I could. I kid you not. I just want to be with
Nappies.
my FPV family. Like all you guys out here that I've never got a chance to meet in person, and I interact with you all the time. Through YouTube and social media. Man, there's nothing better than being able to meet you guys in person and just have that bond and just rip packs, and just share the hobby together. It's nothing quite like it. Hey, welcome in Airflow FPV. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for stopping
Oh
in.
yeah.
All
Nappy's
right,
giving me a
well,
hard time. Nappy's giving me a hard time about my OSD. Before I
ah,
figured out before you could turn it off, I had what was it that was blinking on there all the time? I can't remember. I think it was like something about the battery or something. I don't even remember what it was. It was blinking
was it
something.
the battery stuff?
I don't remember what it was now. It's been so long ago. I'm sure he can remind me. You probably go back through some old videos and find it. It would like pop up. I think it was the battery, but I don't remember. I think that's what it was. But yeah,
Yeah.
it would blink and it was really annoying. And I kept saying what's funny is I kept saying in the videos like, yeah, I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to turn it off. And I never did. So then I finally figured out I could turn off the OSD and not have any of it, and then I don't have to worry about it. But it's not blinking now, by the way. My OSD doesn't have that blinking. So maybe I'll post a video with OSD sometime and y'all can see what I've got on there.
Yeah, I mean,
But
you could change it up every now and then. Don't see nothing wrong with that.
yeah, they've
So
been making
yeah,
some
if you
changes to some of the OSD stuff in HD0 though. They've got one guy's got some. There's a pull request. He's got where you can actually manipulate where all of the HD0 elements are positioned, just like you can in Betaflight. And so, like, you can reposition all the elements, like the different antenna reception, the fans, all that kind of stuff. You
oh
can move all
really?
that stuff.
Wow, that's really
Yeah. So
coming a long way.
hopefully that gets put out in the main branch here pretty soon. It'll be pretty slick. And then
I
combine that
still
with some of the custom fonts and stuff, and you can get a pretty nice setup.
Yeah, I'm still on a little bit older firmware. It was working really good for me. Even with the analog, it was decent. I'm not going to
Yeah,
say it was as good
if
as
it
it
ain't broke,
could
don't fix it.
be, but it's been working good. So I was reluctant to update because I did hear of quite a bit of feedback from the community about
Oh yeah,
several bugs and stuff that were going around with the newer firmware.
the
So I said,
analog
well,
stuff.
let me just wait until they get a lot of this stuff, ironed out, and then I'll
Hmm.
probably gonna upgrade later.
Yeah, the analog stuff's been having they've been having some trouble. I think they're finally getting it ironed out, but I
Good.
don't fly. I don't have the module for mine, so I don't have those problems. But there's been quite a bit of headache with some of the modules and stuff with like
Yeah, and I
the
don't
rolling
fly a
shutter and
ton
all
of
that kind of stuff.
analog anymore, but I do have some micro quads that I like to fly inside every now and then,
Yeah.
and they are analog, so it's nice to be able to to,
Oh
to,
yeah.
to use the module for that.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll get it worked out eventually. This
Oh,
going
absolutely.
through.
That's one thing HD0 has proven time and time again that they are here for the community. They
Oh yeah.
listen to the feedback and they take action, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've been happy with the decision to go that route, and I got the stuff to actually do it, and it didn't cost me anything because a couple of people who were following my channel sent me stuff. So
Nice.
they sent me one guy sent me goggles that had HDMI in so that I could have the ability to do that. This was when you just had the module, you didn't have the goggles in. And then another guy sent me the um, the camera, the VTX. Actually,
Wow.
he sent me two different cameras and the VTX and stuff and the module. So I got all the stuff to actually get started into it for nothing. They just sent it to me, and
That's great.
yeah, it was pretty cool.
I actually
And then
started
I
out
got hooked. I got hooked on it, and I ended up getting the goggles and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah, I actually started out with shark bite. That was how I kind of started in
yep,
with the whole HD0. Started out with
yep,
a shark bite. It had some issues, but I feel like it was still a little bit of a step up over analog.
oh
And
yeah,
then once the HD0 goggles came out, it just and then the 1 watt freestyle VTX. That's what really changed it for me. That
oh yeah,
VTX and the goggle combo really stepped it up for me.
oh
Um,
yeah. I've been
and
pretty happy with it. The only thing I don't like about it is it's kind of big. I mean, it's look at this thing.
Yeah,
It's
if you have
it's
a if you have
huge.
a frame that can incorporate it really well, that makes a huge difference. Just having
Yep,
the space. We're going to go
yeah.
ahead and transition into the community standouts. We're having an
Oh
awesome
yeah,
stream,
cool.
and time is flying. Wow, I can't believe it's already been an hour. Feels like it's been like
Yep,
20 minutes. Isn't that crazy?
yep. Time goes
Hey,
by
brother,
quick when you
welcome
have
in,
fun.
Robert Snap Garrett. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, brother.
Oh, nice.
Absolutely. We're hoping that day will come. There's so many options now. I got a chance here recently to be able to test out the walk snail avatar, and I'm
Hmm.
just so excited and ready to share that with you. I'll have a new video dropping tomorrow with some of my experience was with that, and more to come as well. I just love that we
That
have options, right? Like we just have
yep.
so many options in the hobby now. When me and
That
Stacy
night
got
camera is
started in the
impressive.
hobby, there was one option. It was analog. That's
Analog.
that's it.
It's not a bad option still yet. I mean, if I hadn't had that stuff give to me to do the HD0 stuff, I'd probably still be flying analog. So,
And
I
analog
mean,
has come a long way as well. I mean, these
oh
high
yeah,
TVL cameras, if you get a,
yeah,
a, a good quality analog VTX with some good antennas and a good high
it's not
TVL
bad.
camera, Man, you can do just as much, pretty much, with an analog setup as you can do with an HD setup. I kid you not.
Oh
You
yeah.
might be limited a little bit with penetration, but I'm telling you, if you get a good setup, you spend the money, get some decent gear for analog.
Yep.
I'm telling you, I think it's still a very pleasurable experience, especially if you got some good
Oh yeah.
OLEDs.
Oh yeah. If you got a good set of goggles, and don't cheap out on the components. Oh,
Yeah,
nice. Who's
this is
this
my
one?
man Drone Poison.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, community standout of first one of the night, and I'm gonna put a
Nice.
link to his channel in the live chat. Drone Poison. Yeah, this guy's got some skills on the sticks, man. Really, really
Oh yeah.
enjoy his
I like
flying, and I
the
like this location.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I really like this spot. I got to fly one tower or something like that. One time when I was in Tennessee, there was a uh, some place that had one of those towers. It wasn't like a
Ooh.
functioning tower or anything, but it was for the show or whatever. And they had one of these towers, and I got to fly that. It was kind of cool. But I think the concrete, like an old concrete plant down here, had a couple of those towers that you could fly in between, but nothing like this. That's cool.
I mean, he's just got gaps everywhere. He's got
Yeah,
some
I like
vertical
it.
stuff that he can dive down through. He almost nailed that beam earlier. That was a really close call there.
Yeah, I like this. This is cool.
You could tell he's real comfortable with his proxy, man. Getting nice and tight in there.
Oh yeah,
Real comfortable with his proxy.
that
Nice
is
skills,
cool.
man. Absolutely.
I love how the wide angle cameras always make those spots look way tighter than they actually are. I mean, you've got tons of room, but it does not look like it. When you're in the camera, it definitely don't look like it either.
And there's like so much inside of it as well. Like you look at it
Yeah,
and you're
I
like,
wasn't
oh, I see
expecting
four
that.
stacks. But once he goes
Yeah,
inside of it, oh, I love how he
uh,
slid down that. And it comes
yeah, that
back
was
out
cool.
through. Nice.
That was cool.
Nailed it.
Very cool. I
Yeah,
like
I
it.
he joined my Discord and he had posted a video and I started watching and I'm like, man, this guy's got some skills. So
Very
happy to
nice.
be able to share you in the community standout section, brother. And I'm
Very
gonna
cool.
post your link to your channel in the live chat as well. Very very cool.
I like it.
Oh yeah, you can tell he's definitely comfortable with the proxy flying.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Wow.
nice. I thought he was gonna go all the way through. That would have been cool.
I just love how you could just get to the top of these tall structures like with a blip of a throttle, like
Oh, I
nothing, you
know.
know.
It's
So
crazy.
cool.
It always
I
impresses
love
people.
his channel banner. He's got a hand like on a little dropper with
Okay.
like a little poison dropper dropping the poison on the drone and he's got a little bottle of
I
poison. So cool.
wonder how he came up with the name.
I don't know. Nice
Always
Maddie
one.
through
Always
there as
wondered about. Yeah,
well.
that was nice.
Real nice.
Oh, yeah. Got to include the crashes. Nice.
I
Very
like that
cool.
when they include the crashes.
Heck yeah.
I'm gonna post his link to his channel in the live chat now, guys. Make sure you check him out. Drone Poison. There we go. Really appreciate you sharing. Really, really, really good job. Let me get my
Yeah, that was nice. I liked it.
sound effects back up here. Awesome. All right. He
Who else
says,
we got?
analog forever. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, you do what you can to stay in the air, you know,
Yeah,
and if
that's the
analog
thing.
keeps you in the air, then by
Heck
God,
yeah.
all means, run
Don't
analog, man.
don't
I
feel
still
like
got
you
quads with
gotta.
analog in them and probably
Yeah,
always
don't feel
will.
like you gotta
Like
upgrade.
some
I
of
mean,
these
if it's working,
micros, you know,
yeah.
analog's where it's at.
If it's working
Mark,
for
good
you,
to
don't
see you,
don't
brother.
quit.
Good to see you, man. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get the next community standout pulled up. I love watching your guys' footage. I really do, especially with my man Stacey and my special guests. Good times.
Yeah, see who else we got.
Get this pulled up. Make sure I got my settings right. Coming in hot in just a second here. And make sure you check out their channels and check out the full video. I don't play the audio because of the copyright reasons. Because that's another way that we use to support my channel so that we can, give back for giveaways. But definitely check out their full videos with the audio because the audio makes a big difference on your experience as well. So, all right. We got my man Windjumby FPV.
Oh, which one is this? I always like his stuff.
Yeah, he lives in a really cool location as well.
Yeah, he's got the islands vibes there.
No, there we go. I made sure I hit play. Ooh, a nice construction site. Okay. Oh, is it active? Oh, he's actively digging. Oh, yes. Oh, this is great.
That is
This
nice.
is awesome. He's actively digging. Oh, and the birds too.
Oh, I got the birds. Sweet. There was, when I was first getting into doing FPV with that GPS drone, there was one morning I went out and there was geese that were really heavy in the area, and I was flying. I didn't realize they were all over there, and I flew over and they all just took off. Scared the crap out of me, but it looked cool.
It looks like
nice.
This is either early in the morning or right at sunset. The lighting is nice.
Yeah,
Beautiful lighting.
I like it.
Oh, he's wanting to get in there. He's wanting to get in there tight now. I can see him. He's like, should I do it? Should I do it? Do it. Do it.
There he goes.
Yes.
Not always going to fluke
Yes.
it. Sweet.
Wow, he was actually digging. That's cool. That's cool.
That is cool.
Really enjoying that.
What I want to know is, did he know that you were going to be there or not? That's my question. Or did you just...
I don't know if this was like prearranged, if like he knows the people,
Maybe.
or if he just came and just sent it.
Might be.
This is cool nevertheless. The guy's still digging. He's like, ain't bothering him. He's still digging. He's still
well, it ain't
doing
going to
his
hurt that thing anyways. I mean, if he hits it, his drone's going down and goodbye drone. So it doesn't affect him.
Oh, absolutely not. It's just going to it's just going to trash his drone.
Yep.
Awesome stuff.
That's fun.
Wow. Awesome stuff, man. Thank you so much for sharing, my friend Windjumby. I'm going to go ahead and get his channel as well and get that in the live chat. Thank you so much for sharing, brother. Get him pulled up here. I love that. I want to see more of that. Actively flying construction sites while the machines are actually in use. That's next level. Love that.
Oh, yeah. That's fun stuff.
All right. I posted Windjumby's channel in the live chat, so make sure you check him out. Greatly appreciate you sharing as well. And we've got one more community standout that we're going to do, and this is from a patron. So patrons and channel members get priority when it comes to community standouts. So if you want to become a patron or a channel member, whenever you share your videos over in my Discord server, link in the description, you guys will get priority for the community standouts on the live streams. So just keep that in mind. I do try to get through and show everybody that I can, and at least show people that haven't been featured before, to try and make sure I try to get everybody. But there's so many posts that it would be impossible for me to show every single one, over the course of like 3 or 4 streams. So I do my best, and if you want to get priority, consider becoming a patron or a channel member, and everything that we bring into the channel goes right back out for giveaways. And boy, do I got a lot of giveaways that I got planned coming up. So you're definitely going to want to make sure you're subscribed and make sure you click the bell icon so you get notified. All right. And make sure while you're down in the video description, you check out my man Stacey Abshire. Check out his channel as well.
Yep.
Awesome pilot. really has a lot of charisma when he's talking to his followers on the YouTube, and he's just got a great positive attitude. And I love his slogan, hashtag Never Stop Flying. I love that. So definitely make sure you show him some love as well.
Yep, appreciate it.
Hey, what's up, Lambo? Good to see you. All right, let me get the last one pulled up here in just a second. My man is in here. I just saw him. I think he was in the chat. He may still be here. There we go. Get this pulled up.
Lambo drives Zambo. That's cool.
Yeah, he's got a catchy name as well. A lot of you guys got really, really cool catchy names.
Yeah,
Keep me on my toes. Keep me on my toes. Sorry for the background work, guys. Just getting this ready for the last community standout. Hey, Gargola Conrad, thank you so much for the love and support. Greatly appreciate that. And Stacey does as well.
Sweet. Heck yeah.
All right, we are just about ready. Here we go, my man. Saggy Balls FPV.
All right.
With an analog rip coming through the gate. He's coming in hot. Oh, nice, brother. Nice.
I like the dive. I like the dive there. It looked good.
That was awesome, man. That was very quick, but it was awesome. So thank you so much for sharing that as well. And are you still in here, Saggy? Saggy Balls FPV?
He was
If
earlier.
not, I'm going to go ahead and get his channel so you guys can check him out. He was in here earlier.
Send it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday again.
I love that. That's right.
Yeah, I like that.
That's
too.
right.
What's the saying? Every day and twice on Sunday. I think it's the old saying.
I almost typed it in the search. Never stop flying.
That's funny.
I love that slogan, man. Fly every day.
There's Saggy.
There we go. Yeah, he must have rolled out. No worries. I'm going to go ahead and share his channel right here. My good brother, Saggy Balls FPV. And if nothing else, man, I mean, that name, you can't forget that name. So
No, not at all.
definitely check him out. There's his channel there. Oh, he's still here. He's still in here. Awesome.
Yep.
He said, haha, I fell asleep. No worries, brother. That was an awesome dive down through there. You killed it, man.
That. Came down through the side and then in behind and back out. That was kind of cool.
That was really cool. Really appreciate you sharing as well.
Hold the line and commit.
And I appreciate all your support, brother. I really do. Let me make sure my sound's working. Do it again. There we go. All right. Airflow FPV. Never stop flying. That's right.
Yep.
Hey, edrone1, good to see you as well. Welcome in. What's up? All right. We go ahead and switch back to the banner here. There we go. I made a special banner just for you, Stacey. Welcome, Stacey Abshire. Never stop flying. Hashtag never stop flying.
Nice. I like it.
Oh, that was from the giveaway frame? That's so awesome. He actually won that frame on a previous live stream of mine.
Oh,
and he
nice.
built it out, and that was the frame that we just showed. That's awesome, man.
Nice.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Very cool.
All right, so I want to talk to you about what's to come. What are you looking forward to in this flying season? I know you got some heat coming. So what are you looking forward to? What can we look forward to seeing on your channel?
Well, I'm hoping to get to some new spots again, because man, I've got something like, I don't know, 400 or so spots marked, and a big chunk of them I haven't even been to. Like I'm real bad about watching videos and going, I know where that's at. Let me go find it on the map, and then I'll mark it, or I'll figure out what it is and go find it and mark it. And then that way I've got it on Google wherever I'm at. I can pull up to see what spots are around or whatever. But I want to get to some new spots. There's some really good ones that aren't too far from here that I would like to go fly. Um, Particularly now that I've got the HD0 stuff set up. Um, I feel like I can be a little more daring with my setup because I don't have an action camera on there. You know, I can push it a good bit. And this thing is, this is the Moxie, by the way. This thing is taking a beating. This is still been flying the same one since I started with the Moxie about 2 years ago. I think I broke 3 top plates. That's all I broke on it. So it's been pretty. So well, I'll take that back. I did break a bottom plate on one of the other ones, but it's still solid. It's just got like some shearing of the carbine. So I want to hit some new spots and push it a little bit more than I have before.
Now, is that a True X?
I don't know if this is. I think it's an H.
Okay.
I think it's like a squish.
That's what I
X,
fly as well, an H frame.
Yeah, I think it's like a squished X, H style. But man, this thing is taking a beating. It's been impressive, and I got it. So when I got it 2 years ago, and it was going to be like I kind of got a habit of buying myself some drone stuff for Christmas, and it was going to be my Christmas present that year, and then I ended up breaking the frames that I was flying, and I was getting ready to start that December, like flying every single day and posting a video every single day in December.
Right.
And I had to have a setup, so I was like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and just build it then. And so I built it, and I was like, we'll test its durability and we'll see if it lasts. And it lasted through December, and we flew, I don't know, 25 to 30 different spots, and most of them were concrete. So it held up to all of that.
How many freestyle 5-inch quads do you have right now?
2. They're
okay.
Both, yeah, they're the same. I've got a bunch of like partial built ones, that I've like scavenged parts of over the years. I've just never have rebuilt them. So I've got like a 7-inch that's sitting with a bare frame and 4 motors because I've scavenged parts off of it. And then I've got 3 or 4 other 5-inch builds that have parts missing that I've scavenged over the years, mostly motors. Those seem to be mostly what I break these days.
Oh, yeah.
So,
hey, Props Off. Yeah. Good to see you, brother. Sorry I missed you earlier.
Heck yeah.
I do not have a stream. I was catching up with chat. Sorry about that. I do not have a stream board. I really should get one because it makes it so clunky when I'm like going back and forth from like my sound effects on my phone and all that. So I gotta just get into it and learn all that stuff and just definitely get on board with that. So feel free to hit me up with any of your knowledge on that so I can make my streams even better. So I appreciate you coming in, man. Yep. I really do.
Yep. But yeah, so I've just got the 2 that I keep. I find it easier just to have 2 and not have too many to keep up with. So it's hard enough keeping 2 flying.
Yeah.
Breaking mostly these days though, I don't want to break any more is motors. So
and that's the same thing I always break is motors. That's another reason that I wanted to go with a cheaper motor. So I just run the Emax Eco 2s because they're so cheap. They work really good. And if I end up breaking, 2 or 3 of them, I don't care because they're so cheap, it's just like,
Yep.
So
I've got a bunch on those other frames and stuff that are just sitting there, and I like scavenge the motor. Mostly I scavenge the bell off of them because I'll like ding the bell and it'll like the motor will seize up. And so I'll take it off, take the bell off, and go snag the bell off one of the other ones, pop it on there, and then it's good to go again.
Exactly. I mean, it's on the end of the arm. It's the furthest away from inside the frame. So it's going to get the most abuse, especially with the props being on there. That's just the way it's just designed, So
they take a pretty good beating, though. They take a lot of hits. But, if you hit something the wrong way, it don't matter how strong it is, it's going to ding it,
And when I fly concrete and stuff like that, I would much rather kill a $14 motor over like a $28 motor, you know what I mean?
Yep. I think I flew $28 motors once. They broke pretty quick, and I was like, nah, I ain't doing that anymore. That's too expensive.
Yeah, I definitely want to be throwing. Yeah, I could buy 2 motors for the price of one. So that adds up
Yep.
over time.
Yep.
So
I wish they sold just like the bells for just a few bucks would be nice. Because
yes,
like the main part of the
some
motor is always
companies used to
good. It's
do
just
that, but I think they got away
yeah,
from doing that because they caught on real quick what we were doing. They're like, wait a minute, no, no, no,
yeah,
no, no, we want you to buy more motors.
yeah, yeah. I mean they're pretty cheap, so it's not terrible, but it would be nice to have that option. I mean you can always swap out the bell with another 28. Like these are 2306s, so I mean any 2306 bell will work. But
Yeah.
you know, but yeah,
Good stuff,
it's been
man. Well, I'm glad you got
yeah.
like all these, spots pinned up so you're ready to
Oh
go
man,
explore and have
I
some
got a
more
bunch of them.
adventures. How about
And if it,
any meetups in the future, you think? Any meetups that you'd like to get to?
mm, I've been to I went to one of the Rotor Riot things that they had. What was
Mhm.
that? The quads and coffee. That was pretty fun.
Mhm. Cool.
I was going to go to the last one, but I ended up getting sick the day of.
Ah,
Had like this awful migraine, and so I was like, didn't get to make it out. But it was the first one I went to was pretty fun. I wanted to
yeah.
get back. They're a whole lot of
That's
fun.
that's been like a goal of mine is to try and get to more meetups. Not the
Yep.
easiest goal to set just because of the logistics of everything, taking off of
Oh no.
work and planning everything.
Yep.
I really was gonna my main goal this year was to make it to Castle Crash. It's the
Oh yeah.
closest event to me. However, it just so happens to be on a weekend that I already had booked a camping trip for the family, and there was
Hmm.
no way I was getting out of it. So unfortunately, that got
Yep.
squashed. So now I'm like, man, what do I do now? So I went to IO last year. I'd love to go back
Hmm.
again this year. There's just so many events. It's just like I wish I had more time to be able to do multiple, but I really have to like kind of think about
Oh yeah.
possibly being able to do like maybe one or two at the most,
Yeah.
and then I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to do any more than that. So I really got to figure out what I want to
I'm
do.
terrible about traveling. We used to travel a bunch, just family and stuff. We travel all the time, but now that we've been in Florida, we don't have to travel because it's like vacation every day. We got tons of
Yeah.
stuff to do within 30 miles of us, so we're all always doing that kind of stuff. So I don't get a lot of time to do anything outside of that. You know,
I will
when I
say
can, I do.
if you ever get a chance to get to Muncie, Indiana, definitely check out IO. It's a great
Yeah,
time.
I've had several
It's a lot
people
more
hit me up, tell
racing
me I should go
environment.
there.
It's a
Yeah.
lot more racing environment, but they do have some freestyle stuff that they're starting to incorporate into the event, which
Hmm.
I like. And make sure you find Double A because he can give you the absolute best
Oh yeah,
time.
he's been pestering me, telling me I need to go.
Yeah, if you ever go, man, you make sure you hit Double A up because he'll give you the VIP tour for sure.
Yep, yeah, he's been pestering me to go. So at some point I might, when I decide I
Yeah,
want to go see some corn and some, flat Indiana.
absolutely. Do we
But
have any
yeah,
international viewers in the house tonight? Any international viewers? Just say international if you live outside the U.S. I want to do an international giveaway if we have international viewers. If we don't, that's okay. We'll transition into Q&A. So, if anyone is outside of the U.S., if you live outside of the U.S., please type down in the live chat international. And if not, no worries. We'll just go ahead and transition into the open Q&A. Yeah, I think Stacy can see the chat. I'm pretty sure you
oh
can.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been
Yeah.
going back there reading back through the stuff, what everybody's been saying.
All
Let's
right, we
see
got
here.
Mark. We got one. Anybody else? He said I'm a space cadet. does, that, does, that,
That's funny.
does that qualify? Any other international viewers? I don't really know. Other than Mark, I don't think I've seen anybody that I remember being international, but I could be wrong. Anybody else live outside the U.S.? Because if not, then well, Mark won. Like it's that simple.
He's a shoe in.
Yeah. What's up, Bob Noxious RX? Welcome in.
Ah, sweet.
Nobody else?
I just found his channel not too long ago.
Who, Bob Noxious?
Yeah, I started following his channel. Well, it's probably been just a couple weeks ago, I guess.
He's got a
Came
good,
across
healthy
it.
beard as well.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Mark,
I
he
like
will.
all the
If there's
bearded
nobody
SPV guys.
else, speak now or forever hold your peace. Is there anybody else that lives outside the U.S.? Because if not, then Mark is the winner of the international giveaway tonight, which is going to be, you probably already know, but if you don't, it's going to be a $25 Fly High FPV gift card from my man Dave Shaddix. Make sure for all your FPV shopping you check out flyhighfpv.com, where you can find the best LEDs in the business. Check out my man Dave. Awesome person in our hobby, in our community. Does a lot for this hobby. Make sure you check him out. Show him some love.
Do you think he's ever going to get his GoPro 11 situation worked out?
You know, I have a post coming up, but I'll go ahead and just give you a sneak peek about my community post. But I used my GoPro 11 Mini, 2 of them, yesterday at a FPV drift chasing event. All day I used them. They never got crashed. I think one had a soft landing. None of them got crashed. They all recorded just fine. However, I was getting consistent freezing when I was charging these cameras. For some reason, when they're charging, they like to get frozen. So that is annoying. And I bought them just for doing chase footage. I don't even freestyle them. Like, that's not why I bought them. I use my Action 2s for all my freestyle now. So I've heard nothing but horror stories about the Mini 11 and crashing and just stopping recording mid-flight. And
everybody, either it works flawlessly, continuously for them, or they have nothing but trouble with it. It's one or the other. It's nowhere in the middle. It's like either it's flawless or it's terrible. That's kind of been the synopsis I've seen with it.
And I kind of feel like
it's
if
a shame
I start
too,
freestyling
it's a nice form factor and everything, you know.
And the image quality is fantastic. That's why I got it, you know, for doing the chase stuff. But, you know, I feel like if I start crashing it, you know, I just don't feel like it doesn't seem to be like if it's as durable. It seems like once you start crashing them, like that's when the issues just start plaguing them, you know.
Yeah, I think its problem is where it's compacted down. I think it's a heat issue internally. That's my guess, but you know, I don't know.
Mark,
but sometimes it's like stuff that wasn't even dealing with heat, but I still think it has something to do with, you know, where it's, you know, the same camera as the 11 but just compacted down.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations to Mark.
Heck yeah.
You are the one and only international viewer.
It was a tough fought battle, but he pulled it out.
You are the one and only international viewer. So you have won the $25 Fly High FPV gift card. Congratulations, brother.
Go buy you some LEDs.
And to claim your prize, all you have to do is send me an email at emarvel09@gmail.com with your email, and I will email you that gift card. Appreciate you, brother.
Heck yeah.
I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody, but I think you are the only international viewer, so by default, you win.
Nice. Can't beat that.
That's right. And
Mark's
an awesome supporter of the channel as well. He's been coming to the channel for a long time, so definitely happy to give back, brother. All right, let's go ahead and transition to open Q&A, guys. Open Q&A is now open for Stacey, myself, in the chat. If you guys have any questions for anybody, now's the time to go ahead and get those questions asked, and we will try our best to get to them. Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for being so supportive. Thank you. Awesome.
Is there any Rhode Island only prizes?
Yeah, we did a U.S. giveaway earlier. and
That's funny.
did an awesome Never Stop Flying Stacey Abshire T-shirt.
All right, so Double A wants to know what my day gig is. So I do. So I'm going to tell you what I do. I do software development, but I'm going to give you a little more info. So I do. It's going to sound weird, but I do software development in the death industry. So like memorials, markers, caskets, all that kind of stuff.
Okay,
So yeah, it's
excellent.
kind of a weird thing, but I get to work at home. Um, and I got into doing for the company that I'm with now. Started out just doing contract work for them. I was kind of like in between stuff, and um, a guy that I was doing some contract work for, he goes, I got another one for you. He goes, it's going to be a strange one. I'm like, let me know. And he goes, you want to like make some software for like the death industry? I'm like, what do you mean the death industry? Like the memorials, the markers, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, sure, why not? It'll be interesting. So
Yeah.
that was like, let's see, how many years ago was that I started for them? I guess it's been about 10 years now that I've been an actual employee, and uh,
And it's,
almost 12, almost
not
12 years actually doing contract work for them.
not trying to be funny or anything, but I mean, you have job security. I mean,
I know
that's one
exactly.
thing that's
Yeah,
never going to change, you know. So I mean, that
yeah, it's pretty
unfortunately that's
interesting.
the way
But
it is, but fortunately for your line of work, that's going to keep you with work.
oh yeah, so I do the stuff that I did. I was hired doing contract work to create an online design tool. So like the cemeteries can go in and they pull it up, they can pick the kind of the style of the marker they want or whatever, and then they can actually do the designing with the family. They can put, the names, the dates, any type of inscription, emblems, all that kind of stuff they can put on there, reposition it, rotate it, do all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
And so that was the software that I created for them, and then I'm maintaining it now for them.
Okay.
So yeah.
Double A asks, does your son still fly?
He does not. He decided he wanted to spend his money on his computer stuff. So he's big into gaming, and so he spends all his money on that. Um, he still gives me advice and stuff on my videos on what I need to do to make them better and more entertaining. So if I've gotten better, some of that's probably from him and some of his suggestions. So
And you never know. I mean, he may end up getting that spark and wanting to get back
oh yeah,
into it again. You just never know. So you'll be there ready and
oh yeah.
waiting for if and when that happens.
When he did it though, he caught on to it a whole lot faster than I did. So if he was still flying, he would be way leaps ahead of me in skill level now.
Isn't
So
that crazy how just
yeah,
some people can they just pick it right up and just go with it. It's just something in the
yeah,
brain, right?
oh yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, he
Mark,
just
I really appreciate you, brother. If you could just shoot me a fresh one, if you're still in here, I would greatly appreciate it, brother, because I get so many emails that it's probably buried somewhere if it's been like over like a week or two. So if you could shoot me a fresh email, I would greatly appreciate it. Otherwise, I will do my best to try and find the older email. So just yeah, if you could do that for me, I would really appreciate it.
do I surf? No, I don't surf. I can't.
No surfing,
Shoot, I
man.
can't. I can't even stand up on a skateboard, man. There ain't no way I can stand up on no surfboard. So,
I would love to chase like to film
oh yeah,
surfers.
that
I
would be
think that
fun.
would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be fun.
The
If
adrenaline
I
would
get a
just be
chance,
like so
if I get a
high
chance to go
because
back
water,
to,
right?
yeah, if I get a chance to go back to Hawaii, that's going to be on my list. We went there in 2019, and the setup I had at the time was definitely not ideal for flying there, but it would be a much better time flying there now than what I did then. And my skill level is way better now than it was then.
I feel
Um,
like you would need a really like a large, powerful Cinewhoop. Something that's
oh yeah,
got some good power, some good thrust.
oh
Because I
yeah,
don't know about you, but I just wouldn't feel comfortable taking a 5 inch and flying around somebody on a surfboard. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's sketchy with the wind and everything
With
else. It's
open
pretty
props
sketchy.
too, you know.
Oh yeah, it's pretty sketchy. But what I'd like to take if I go back, and we want to go back to Kauai at some point. Um, there's a video that Gab 707 did way back. And he flew. There's a canyon there, Waimea Canyon, and he's got some incredible footage. I want to fly there. Although it's a bit sketchy to do now because there's an Air Force base there, so you got to be real careful.
Oh boy!
But yeah, so you got to be, either get in and get out really quick, or I don't know. But you got to be real careful there flying. But yeah, gorgeous spot. But I need to give me a good long range setup before I do that, because I wouldn't. My freestyle rigs they're not set up for long range. You can see, I mean, look at the little tiny antenna. That's not ELRS. That's a crossfire antenna. So I don't have much range. So
yep. What's up, Brad Austin? Good to see you, brother.
So
he said, well, you should be able to get a fair amount of customers from the camera drone community. Awesome.
Yeah.
Somebody lives in Maui. What's up, Winder? Good to see you.
Oh, nice. He lives in Maui.
Windshield asked if you've ever ripped micros or whoops.
I've flown some whoops, but it's been a long time ago. Back when you didn't have the really good whoops, when you had the really crappy
the brushed motors.
Yeah, so I flew some of those around. They were terrible, but I mean it was fun. When I couldn't get outside, when the weather was crappy, it was kind of nice. But
when you go to do like a flip or a roll, and it's like
those things were terrible.
You just bounce and hit the ground because you just don't have enough throttle to recover with enough power.
Terrible. They were terrible. I mean, if you were just kind of like cruising around and you didn't try to make any abrupt movements, it was kind of fun.
I think there was one.
Mine were all too heavy. Mine were all too heavy for actually doing anything good with them.
I think there was one company. I don't know if it was Newbie Drone or it was a company that actually put out a brushed motor. Maybe it was Tiny Whoop. They actually put out a brushed motor that actually had some decent punch to it.
There was this one dude. Where was he at? He had this really deep voice, and he flew. His house was like in this jungle, and he would fly those things around. What was the name of that guy? And he put out some. They were like, I want to say I had Alien or something other in the name. I can't remember, but they were like ridiculously high RPM brushed motors.
Mm-hmm.
And I got pretty good results with those, and used those for a while. He even actually made some that would actually work in that Alias. That's where I found him, was through that, and because I wanted to upgrade the motors for that. But yeah, he made some really nice brushed motors.
But I used to have I think it was the King Kong or Tiny. Oh, I can't remember what it. I think it was like Tiny King Kong or something. It was a yellow one. And it was a little bind and fly, and it was brushed motors, and that little thing, I remember I went up to my church steeple at the time. I went up there, the wind was kind of blowing, it started shuddering, and I did a split S and just dove right down with that little 65 millimeter brushed whoop. And I remember I got to the bottom, and I just started hammering on the throttle, and it recovered. And I was like, wow, I can't believe this actually worked.
Yeah, and then the battery was dead at that point.
Yeah, it was like time for a landing and one shot dive. That's it. She's done.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, those things were terrible. I mean, they were interesting though. They were fun, but man, they were terrible.
Yeah, definitely. I think you definitely should look into the 3 to 3.5 inch. I've thought about building.
I thought about building one of those. The tiny trainer.
Yeah.
I got to fly Ryan from the HT0 stuff. He was down this way a couple months ago, and I got to fly his, and that was pretty fun. So, and that thing is way more durable than I expected it to be, because I watched him crash it over and over and over and over and over and over again. It was just kept coming back for more.
Yeah, and I've always been the biggest fan of 5-inch. But man, once I started trying out the 3 to 3.5 inch, I was like, man, this is so much fun. It's quieter. I can practice more proxy stuff.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, and they throw very similar. They feel very similar to a 5 inch when you're flying them. If you have the weight right, they do feel
Yep.
really, really close to a 5 inch. So
Yeah. I
definitely
thought
look
about
into it.
building one.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
I thought about building one. I was going to build a way back. I bought the stuff. I still have all the parts, but never did bother to build it. A toothpick.
Mm-hmm.
But so I started putting that together, and that board is so the board that I had the pads and stuff on are so tiny. I got frustrated with it. I was like, man, I don't have the patience to build this thing.
Yeah,
So
you definitely want to get you like a magnifying. I got the one here. It has a light on it and also has the magnifying
yeah,
glass, and I use that all the time with the micros. It helps
oh yeah,
so much. Like you
yeah,
get a fine tip point solder on your fine point tip for your soldering iron, and you use that
yep,
magnifying glass, and it makes a world of difference.
yeah. I've used a magnifying glass before, but I don't have a very good setup with it. It helps, but I need a good setup, like with the big one with the ring and the light on it that you can just
Yeah,
look through. Yeah, pretty nice.
absolutely. I use that thing all the time for all the micro stuff. Hey,
Yep.
welcome in No One FPV. You're someone here, my friend. So welcome in. You are someone in here, and we are glad to see you. I like the name though; it is catchy.
When
We
was the
got
last time I did an interview? Man, I don't remember ever doing it. Maybe I did one. I can't
Riot
remember.
Nine. Welcome in.
I don't remember
Yeah.
when the last interview I did was.
I think I got. I think it was Harbor Freight. I don't know if you guys have Harbor Freight down your way, but it's
Oh yeah,
basically
we
like
do.
a discounted like hardware store, or I'm
Yep,
sorry, not hardware store, like tool store.
yep.
And I think I picked it up for I want to say it was like under $40.
Oh,
And it's
really?
got a
Huh.
clamp on it so it can clamp onto a desk. It's got
Oh,
the
nice.
spring loaded arms so you can maneuver it however you want it. It's got the built in I don't know if it's LED or fluorescent, but it's a really bright light as you can see.
Hmm.
And then if you have the top that flips open, it's a huge magnifying glass. And I mean,
Huh.
it just blows it up to where you can really see what you're doing when it comes to those small flight controllers.
I'll have to look for that. Yeah,
Absolutely.
there's a Harbor Freight probably I don't know about 6 or 7 miles from my house.
Oh, well,
So
there you go. Definitely.
yeah,
They should definitely have them in stock. Just tell them you're looking for a tabletop LED magnifying glass,
yeah,
and they'll be
yeah. I'll
able to
see what they
point you in the
got.
right direction.
I'll see what they got.
Yeah, it's worth every penny. And then I've even used it on like new 5 inch builds just to double
Oh
check,
yeah,
like to really look at the flight controller real down and just make sure that there's
oh
nothing
yeah,
bridged or you know.
yep,
As you know,
yep.
the older we get, our eyes
Oh,
they
mine are
just
terrible.
they tend to get worse.
Mine's been terrible. Man, I've had glasses since I was like in second grade. So I mean, years and years and years. That's been what was that? That's probably been 40 years now, something like that. So
Yeah. Hey
yeah,
man, better late than
I'll be
never. Good
turning
to
the big
see you, USA
I'll be
Drone
turning the
Flyer.
big 5-0 this year at the end of the year.
Are you the big 5-0 this year?
Yeah, in
I'm the
December.
big 4-0 this year. Look at that.
Oh wow.
We're a decade
Yep,
apart.
yep. I remember that. Wasn't too long ago. You'll be the big 5-0 before you realize it too.
I know the time it goes by faster the older I get. It really does. I never believed my
Yep,
mom when she told me that. I'm like, nah, I don't
yep.
believe it. I'm like, time goes
Double
by
A
so
wants to know.
slow when you're younger.
Yep.
Oh boy, was
Double A
she
wants to know
right?
if I
I'm like,
see any of
yeah,
the
you're right.
launches. So you can actually, from where we're at, you can see the launches just in the sky from where we're at. I mean, they're tiny. Like we don't have to even drive to see them. So once they get up in there, you can see them. We
Oh
used to watch
wow.
them at our apartment, just a few miles from here, and the way that the apartment was arranged there was a lake and there was like a dock, and the way the launches from like the stuff from NASA over at Cocoa was basically directly west from there, and so it like would shoot up, in the evening or late or early in the morning, like you'd have the lake and the sunrise, and then it would be shooting up. It was cool to watch. But
That's
yeah, you can just
awesome.
yeah.
Hey,
So
welcome
yeah,
in,
you can see them
Danzilla
easy
the
from there.
Terrible. Welcome in as well. I had a question for you as well.
Yeah, far
Um,
away.
and I'm one of those people where I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm a freestyle pilot who
Mm-hmm.
loves HD0, and HD0 when it basically first came out, I felt like it was targeted a little bit more for racing pilots, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what for you? What makes you love HD0 so much to where that's what you chose to use for your all your setups for your flying for freestyle?
So, like I said, I got into it thanks to some nice subscribers who sent me some stuff. But prior to that, I'd been looking at, some of the other digital stuff and thought about it, but the expense was like, man, I can't do this. It's just too much money. I'm not going to spend any more money on it. And I've got a friend down here. He flies DJI, and he was always harping on me. He's like, you need to get that. You need to get that. And he's like, I'm just going to buy it for you and get it, and convert you. And then when they sent me that stuff, he's like, all right, you got digital. You'll be good now. And he was all the time harping on me. But I like it for a couple of reasons. One, I like the open source nature of it, which I think is good for the community. Gives the ability to have some longevity there. If the company decides to just say, I'm done, it can still continue on because all the stuff is open source to where you could just make new stuff and continue on. It might take a little bit longer, but the ability is there. Whereas if you don't have an open source, if the company that's making the stuff decides to quit, then you're kind of, whatever's out there is out there, and you're not going to be able to do anything else with. You're not going to be able to make it. So I like that aspect of it. The community wasn't really a factor at the beginning, but after getting into it, the community around that setup is really good. People are really helpful. You know, Carl and those guys are like, Johnny on the spot and getting back to people when they have questions or problems or any kind of stuff to get them resolved, which is really nice. I like that aspect of it. And performance for me, I know it got trashed on for the longest time. Like when it first started, way back when it was originally the shark bite stuff. I remember
Yeah.
seeing that when that stuff came out, and I was like, that is terrible. Who would ever get that? But then it wasn't long before, the performance was like really good. And then when I looked at it and got that stuff sent to me and tried it out, performance was on par with what I was getting with analog. People were complaining and stuff, but I was like, honestly, it's the same. It's just different type of breakup, which makes you think it's not as good. But performance-wise, it's as good as the analog stuff that I had. And also on the TBS, um, the which one is it? The Pro 32 HD or whatever it was called. I don't remember. Pro 32 something. Anyways, like the 1 watt one that it had, I was flying that, and the freestyle one's been on par with that. I mean, maybe slightly less because it puts out slightly less than a watt, but it's been pretty good. So the performance has been good. The community's good. Quality of the video is really good. And I've flown. So I flew like the original DJI stuff that a friend of mine had, and this is definitely on par with all that, if not better. It's better than that, but image quality wise, and it's on par with the other stuff. At least from what I've seen, I've not seen anything that's any better. You
Yeah.
get better, penetration maybe with some of the DJI stuff, but really it's not better penetration. That's such a misnomer. Where it retries and resends stuff, I mean, you get a better image in the end, but it takes a little bit longer to get there. Not that it's drastically longer or anything, but it does have that retrying stuff. But it's not really better penetration. I don't. It's just a bad misnomer. Everybody thinks, oh, it's so much better. It's magic. How much farther it gets? It's not getting any farther. It's just retrying. And so, you're in a slightly different position. You get slightly different piece of the video, and it's retrying the blocks or whatever that needs to be resent. It breaks up just like the other ones do, and it has range issues just like every other one does. I mean, it's but I
Yeah.
like it. I've been
I
happy with it.
I got to try DJI V2. I've got to briefly try the 03. And I definitely see the appeal when it comes to the image quality. It by far is the most beautiful looking image when you put the goggles on that there is, at the moment.
Oh yeah.
However, I don't like the feeling when I'm flying and I get to the edge with the DJI stuff. I don't like the feeling of the stuttering and the lag. It just creates such a disconnect for me that honestly I prefer to have more degradation in the actual video, the way it looks, but my feeling is always the same with HD0. If I push myself to the end of my signal with HD0, it's much more similar to analog in the way it looks. So I know, okay, I need to turn around or I need to come back because it's getting bad, right? But the feeling is always the same on the sticks. It's always the same. The lag is always the same. The latency is always the same. And I love that because even though when I push myself to the brink, and I'm like, oh man, this is getting kind of bad. Like I'm having a little bit of issues, like seeing. I can always bring it back. I can always turn around for the most part, and always save it. And having that consistent feel, I've just never felt, more connected to my quadcopter than I have with HD0. And then with the 90 FPS camera, it's just a whole nother level of connected. I don't know if you've had a chance to try it yet, but
I gotta fly it.
It's a whole other level of feeling connected. Let me tell you, it feels like it's reading your brain.
Even so, like when I got to see that, I flew it once, and I got to see some other people flying it, and even being a spectator with the goggles on, you could tell the difference in how connected it was. I mean, even though you're not flying, you could still tell. You could tell from the pilots flying it how much more connected they were. Like he had some people that hadn't flown the HD0 stuff at all there. And they flew it with like the 720p 60 frames per second mode. And then he had them flying with the 90 frames. And you could see a drastic improvement just in their flying when they went to the 90 versus the 60. Was a big difference.
Here's the second reason that I personally love HD0 and why I'm still on HD0 and will continue to be on HD0. Is how friendly the system is when flying with other people, right?
Oh, yeah.
When I fly with analog pilots, as long as we're synced, we got our channel spacing, I've got no issues, and most of the analog pilots don't have any issues. The only time I'll have an issue, and this is with pretty much any system, is if someone's flying and you land your quadcopter near them, even if you have good separation, you're still going to get some interference. So as long as you're landing, not real close to them, I don't have any issues flying around with analog pilots with my HD0. And I really love the fact that HD0 does not broadcast from the goggles, because that way I don't have to walk away from my other HD0 pilots or analog pilots. There's no issue with the goggles actually transmitting, so it's not creating any interference by me being there close to them. Whereas with DJI and Walk Snail, especially Walk Snail, and especially the 03, you got to have some good separation with pilots. So now you've got 4 or 5 pilots that are on, DJI or analog or Walk Snail, and when you start getting a mixture, that's when it really gets crazy, right? Oh, I've got a Walk Snail pilot here. I've got a DJI pilot there. I got an analog pilot here. It starts to get really messy. So you got to have that separation. Now you got a guy standing 20-some feet this way, and another guy 50 feet that way, and it just kind of separates everybody to where it doesn't feel like it's as close knit as how it used to be with analog and how you can do it with HD0, right?
Yep.
And obviously the community from HD0 is fantastic. If I had to use an analogy, I would say it's like, you're going home, you haven't seen your friends in a while, and all your friends are there with open arms in this little tiny house, and you know every time you walk in, there's going to be fresh cookies. You might have to wait for a while, but you know there's going to be fresh cookies and warm hugs, right?
Oh yeah.
Whereas DJI, it's kind of like, well, you're going to go to this massive corporate building with thousands of people, and you're going to get some really good food, but you're not really going to feel as warm.
Yeah. Well, I see a couple more questions in here I think we missed. So,
oh, yeah.
Gargula Conrad wants to know what part of Florida I live in. I'm in Central Florida, just a little bit outside of Orlando. So, like dead in the middle of the state. And then, let's see here.
Double A wants to know if you have a golf cart.
No, I don't have a golf cart.
No golf cart?
No, I don't have one. There's a golf cart shop, not very. Yeah, but I don't want one. The last time that I drove one of those golf carts, we had went on vacation to Myrtle Beach, and we were staying at a friend's place. He had like one of these places in like a campground or whatever, and he had a golf cart. And so this was like back when I was in high school. And so my buddy and I, we took that golf cart out, and we were all over the campground, going here, there, everywhere. Well, we ran the battery dead, and we had to push that thing across the campground all the way. And that kind of soured me on the things after a while. We ran it dead. I mean, that thing is heavy. So
yeah, when you gotta push it, that's no fun.
Yeah. There was a few hills and stuff you had to push to get to where we were at there. It was no fun. That thing was awful. But yeah, it would be nice to have one. The place where my parents live, all the old folks there where they live, they all have golf carts. My parents don't, but everybody else there does. And they drive them around. They have parades. They go around the community with like a parade of golf carts. It's funny.
Yeah, I mean, golf carts are definitely big down in Florida.
Oh man, they are like everywhere.
It's almost like you probably have more of those than you have vehicles.
Yeah, they drive them on the main road sometimes. You have to watch.
My dad, God rest his soul, he lived in Lakeland, Florida.
Okay. Yeah, it's not very far from here, where I'm at.
Yeah, Lakeland's a beautiful area. I loved it.
It's probably like, I don't know, it's like 35 minutes from here, probably. Not very far.
It felt like going back in time when I would go down there and go to like a restaurant. It felt like I was going back in time, man. It was really, really cool. Like people are actually like having conversations, eating their food, like they don't have their cell phones out.
Oh yeah.
Totally different than where I'm from. But yeah,
definitely different down here.
He lived in a community, and just about everybody that lived there had a golf cart. Every single one.
Oh
and
yeah,
you just
that's
see
the way
them
it
doing
is
these
in my
golf
parents'
cart
community.
parades and stuff.
Yep, they all have them there. They drive around those things. They have little parades. They go around, and it's funny.
They have those now. They have solar powered golf carts. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm sure they're not cheap.
I still fly the analog. I have one analog quad, but it needs some motors. And I flew it. The last time I flew it was, I guess it's been a few months ago when I flew it. Because I flew it here at our house. I was comparing performance of the analog setup with HT0, I think, was the last time I flew any analog.
Did we talk about your motors yet? What motors you run?
Oh yeah, I run the Eco 2 Emax motors.
Oh, perfect. Okay, you run the same motors. Yep. We run the same motors. Excellent.
Yep.
And what props are you using on those bad boys?
So, well, this one right now has props that I really don't like, but I just want to use them to get rid of them. These are the HQ J37s. I don't like these props. They're terrible.
Oh, is that the juicy props?
Yeah, I hate these things.
Do they feel kind of like loose to you?
No, I mean, they fly okay. The things that I don't like about them, the durability is terrible with these things. That's the main reason I don't like them. I've gotten to fly take a step back. I flew the Gem Fan 51-43-3 props forever. I mean, like that was the go-to prop. I flew that thing up until fairly recently. And then I started experimenting with props again. And so then I tried these props here out. I hated these things. But then I've been flying the Gem Fan Sabang props.
Mm-hmm.
The what are those? The 49. What are those things? I can't remember now. 4934s, 4930. I don't know. Whatever. 49
Gem
something.
fans' way that they label their
I like
props
those
is
stuff.
just so confusing.
Oh
But I
yeah, I
love
like
their
the stuff.
props.
Yeah.
I primarily run the Gem Fan Min Ching Kim 51466 props. I love the
Okay.
5.1s with my
Hmm.
with my Eco 2s. I run 6S with 1950 or 1900 kV. I think it's 1900. 1900 kV. I
You
love the
got a punchy
power.
setup. You
I
got a punchy
love the
setup.
power, especially when I'm rocking a heavier frame. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm probably somewhere in the higher 7, almost 800 grams with the Action 2. And then when I throw an 11 mini on there, I'm definitely over 800 grams.
I'm in that range, and I don't even have an action cam, so you know.
Oh, nice. So you like a nice heavy frame as well.
Oh yeah, this thing's heavy. Um, I have to
I
weigh it
also
again.
have been
It's over
experimenting.
800. It's over 800 with the battery. So
I've also been experimenting with my Action 2 setups, flying the Ethics S5 prop, and
I flew
I
those a
do like
long
that
time
as
ago.
well. The S5s. Mm-hmm.
I flew those. I mean, it's been several years ago that I flew those, and I like those when I wanted to just do like a cruise. I got really good flight time on the setup that I was flying when I flew those because it didn't take much thrust to get going, and it like carried speed really well.
Mm-hmm.
I would get really long flight times with those, just like cruising. Um,
Nice.
they were really good for that.
Hey, what's up, Paul Wedgie Big? Good to see you, brother. Thanks for stopping in. Okay, no one FPV likes the 51466s as well. Yeah, they're super punchy on the Eco 2s on 6S, the 1900
I'll
kV
bet.
ones. Oh, that's what I like though. I like being able to just blip my throttle for just like a second, and the quad just like shoo, just gone. Like that's just what I like.
Yeah.
And I like it, but then I get the sacrifice of getting the shorter flight times. You know, my flight times
Oh yeah.
usually on 5 inch are 3.5 to 4.5 minutes. You know,
Yeah.
for freestyle. So
I like mine heavier and um, for doing the proximity stuff, the heavier and less thrust works out pretty well. It gives me a lot of resolution. Um, the punchy stuff is fun though to fly if you're just like wanting to like way back I used to fly really punchy setup and it was always a whole lot of fun. But for the proximity stuff, man, I'm too twitchy on the sticks
yeah.
to too twitchy with the throttle to do proximity with a really responsive. I like something that's not so responsive. I like a little bit of sagginess in there. It gives me some room to work. So
Curtis,
I'm
you
terrible.
welcome in, by the way, Curtis, and you are now a moderator, my friend. Want to make sure I got you wrenched up. Appreciate you, brother, and
Nice.
all your support.
I've not tried. Saggy says he likes the J40 props. I've not tried those. Just these. I think the J40s might be a little more durable. They're a little thicker, I think, than these. But I mean, these are super responsive. These J37s. They're really. I just don't like the durability. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that was the drawback for me. I mean, they fly fine, yeah, but just had terrible luck with the durability. I mean, I don't know how many of them break like at the hub. Um,
Yeah, Stacy's got a very interesting story about his pinching and thumbing. So we talked about it earlier in the show, but I'm sure he wouldn't mind touching on it again.
oh yeah, so I started out way back. Started out on thumbs, and then I decided I wanted to learn to do like the acro stuff, and I was flying a basically a 10-inch drone with like ginormous bob blade floppy props or whatever, and that thing flew like a dump truck. So I had a real bad habit though when I was just starting out trying to learn the fly and acro. I had a bad habit of putting yaw in when I just wanted to do throttle with my thumbs, like they wanted to go left and right. And so I started doing pinching on the throttle stick so that I wouldn't go left and right with yaw when I didn't want it. And I was still thumbing on the other side. But then after doing that for a while, it felt weird having pinching on one and thumbing on the other. I decided I wanted to make both of them pinching. And it took me forever to get to where I could hold the controller right. And I've got big hands with long fingers, so it makes it a little easier, but man, it was still hard to get used to. But now that I'm used to it, it feels weird to not do that. So,
yeah. So Stacey's actually been a thumber, a pincher,
I've done it all,
and also a hybrid as well. So that's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, I've done it all.
Dano,
to me,
I fix
whatever
shit.
whatever works for you, man. That's what I say do. If you're thumbing and it's working for you, keep doing it. And if you're pinching and it's working for you, keep doing it. Yeah.
It's not balls. It's saggy balls. FPV, huh? Check out that name. Now that is a name that you will not forget, right? Like, you will never forget that name.
I hope you don't have that problem.
If I didn't say welcome in, Danzilla the Terrible as well. Welcome in. I don't know if I said that earlier. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Johnny D said smelly balls. That's funny. Oh, man.
That's funny.
So what, and if you've touched on this earlier, I apologize, but what do you run for your stacks, like your ESC flight controllers?
So for the longest time, I ran the Mamba F405 stack.
Yep.
I had pretty good luck with those.
Mm-hmm.
And then more recently, though, I started having issues with the flight controllers just dying on me. Like, it wouldn't be from crashes or whatever. They would just be fine one day, and then one day they'd be acting up for whatever reason. The ESCs were fine, but the flight controllers were like dying on me regularly. So I decided to change it up, and I'm running the T-Motor F7, the 55 amp ESC and the F7 combo with that. And it's been pretty good. Durability wise, it's been pretty good. I like that the ESC is soft mounted and the flight controller soft mounted. So
nice.
They've been pretty good. I wasn't sure if I'd heard some horror stories from some people that had bad luck with them from a durability standpoint, but so far they've held up really well. I've not had any issues with them yet, so been pretty good.
All right. So, I have been using I used to run the Dow. You remember Dow RC?
Yeah.
I used to run like the Dow.
That was
engine.
The props I started with way back.
I know. Those were like my go-to parts, man. You couldn't kill them parts, right? At least I couldn't. And then
those props were good, man. I love those things.
They just stopped. I guess the company just got into trouble and they stopped making them.
Yep.
And I was like, man, what do I do now? I can't get my favorite parts anymore. So then I switched to Mamba, the Diatone Mambas. Yep. And now that's all I run is Mamba stacks. And I have been so happy.
I had really good luck with them until just recently. And I don't know if I just got like a bad batch or something. I don't know. But I just started having bad luck with them. So I was like, well, I'm going to switch it up. But they had worked really well and took all kinds of abuse and stuff. So I don't know what happened.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard because every electronic, manufacturer, they all have failure rates. You're almost bound to always end up getting a part that's going to be bad. It just happens. Like I've gotten ESCs that were like DOA. I'm talking like, $80, $90 ESCs, like premium ESC, dead on arrival, right? It's just the nature of the beast with electronics. But I think if you, for the most part, you get parts and they have been reliable for the most part, and you happen to get one bad one, I wouldn't say that, like, that the parts are junk. Now, if you get like 3, 4, 5 or more, then you probably start to think, okay, well, this is either like a really bad batch or something's going downhill on QC, right?
Yeah, that was kind of where I got with them. But I mean, I didn't really knock them. I just wanted to try something different. At that point, I was like, I get them, they work fine, and then all of a sudden they'll stop working for whatever reason. And It's like, is it just maybe my setup isn't kosher to it now and it was before? I don't know, but I decided to try
Yeah,
something
my
different. But
my
they worked great.
buddy.
I like the layout on the where everything was at for the pins
Mm-hmm.
and everything. It was like all the
That's
pads and stuff were
important.
all laid out
It
nice.
really is.
It was super easy to set up. We didn't really have any issues with that, and so I like that a lot. Um, the one thing I will say about this T-motor stuff that I don't like, I guess I like and I don't like. I think they can thermal coat their stuff before they send it out.
Mm.
Oh my God, getting the solder to stick at first is a nightmare. At least that's been my experience. I had a
Uh huh.
bad luck with that. It was terrible. It's still, pains in the butt,
Yeah.
but I guess it's a
My
good thing that
buddy.
it's conformal coated. But
My buddy Sefer. I helped him build a couple quads, and
hmm
he primarily all he runs is T motor stacks. And I think we've done, I want to say 3 builds with him
hmm
so far, and had no issues with any of the T motor stacks. Well, this last build, we get a brand new T motor stack, and the flight controller is dead.
oh wow, yeah, that
The
was that was some of the horror
five
stories I
volt,
heard. It was like,
the 5 volt Beck was getting
mhm.
super hot. I mean, like burn
Oh
your
wow,
finger hot,
oh wow,
and it was getting the full voltage from the ESC, so we knew it had power. But
hmm
the 5 volt Beck was putting out, I think, like 2.4 volt,
hmm.
and was getting like burning hot. And he's like, man, I can't believe it. This is brand new. I said, hey, contact Race Day Quads. Tell them.
Oh
He
yeah,
contacted Race Day Quads, told him the issue. We sent him pictures of, testing out the 5 volt Beck, showing the
right,
voltage was not 5 volts. Ran through the whole scenario, and Race Day Quad said, hey, we're going to get you in touch with T Motor, and then, just tell them what's going on. It
yeah,
was back and forth with him and T Motor for a little while, and eventually he's like, look, man, I've sent you pictures, I've sent you videos. It's a bum part. I just need a new part. So
yeah.
eventually Race Day Quad stepped in and said, okay, mail us back the flight controller, and as soon as we see you mail it out, we'll send you out a brand new one.
Nice,
So they made it right.
that's cool.
And
Yeah,
I guess
like you
they
said, I
have to
mean,
be that
sometimes you get.
way,
Well,
you
yeah, I mean,
know?
because you're getting parts that you are going to be heating up with, your soldering iron and everything. It's super easy to damage stuff if you're not careful. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and once you start messing with it, I mean, at that point, once it's been touched, I mean, it could be any reason. It could have been the parts bad. It could have been something you did. I get it for
Yep.
sure. Um,
Yeah, that's the first time we've ever had an issue with
yeah,
the T motor part. But
yeah.
I've seen stuff that brand new parts come in and boom, dead.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just the luck of the draw with electronics. You're always going to have that failure rate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm glad they made it right. I'm glad they stepped in and sent him another flight controller because he was upset about it. And we get upset.
Oh, yeah.
When
Yeah.
we know that we took our time and we made sure we soldered it correctly. We made sure
Yep.
everything was wired correctly. Nothing was bridged.
Yep.
And then it still fails, and you're like, wow, why is this happening?
Oh,
It
yeah.
can be discouraging. And I
Oh,
told him, I
man. Yeah.
said, don't get
That
discouraged.
stuff is,
It's nature of
that
the
stuff will
beast.
that stuff will burn you out. How many times you get to crashing and you're like constantly in this build state mode? That's the stuff that usually gets to me. It's like, man, I'm getting tired of repairing stuff, but I want to repair stuff. That's so fun. I want to go fly.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
I'm pretty
Carbon
happy I've got a.
Cage FPV, what's up, brother?
Oh, nice.
Man,
I'm
have
pretty
you
happy.
ever seen Carbon Cage? He's,
No,
I
I
believe
don't think
he's
I
like,
have.
I believe he's 7, either 6 or 7,
Oh, wow.
and just rips FPV. He's actually sponsored by Fly High FPV. He
Oh,
lives in
sweet.
Australia,
Okay,
and he's an
cool.
absolute ripper, man. Awesome.
I got.
If I
I'll
said
have to
your
check
age
this stuff
wrong,
out.
please correct me in the chat. But
Yep, I
he's
will definitely
awesome.
have to. I'll have to check his stuff out then. That is
Yeah.
cool. Nice.
He's done some awesome chasing as well. Some cool. Yep, 7. Good, I got it right. He's done some awesome chasing, like some awesome cars and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And freestyle. He's an amazing pilot, and at 7, like such an inspiration to so many, man. Good on you, Carbon Cage. You're awesome. Appreciate you, brother.
I want to go subscribe to him here.
Yeah, definitely.
He's chasing
there's been a lot of young talent in this hobby to where it just blows my mind. I think there's a pilot over in China by the name of Pepper FPV around the same age. Just insane.
That's crazy.
Like how young they're getting in this hobby. I love it. I like to see more of it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I would love to see 5-year-olds like flying FPV. Like it's just mind-boggling, you know?
Yeah, he's got some good stuff. Very cool.
Johnny switched to ELRS, order 6 to ELR, and 4 are bad. Oh wow. Yep, it's just a luck of the draw, man. They all have a failure rate, but no problem returning them. Awesome. And that's it, man. Good. Shot from a reputable vendor. Fly High FPV as well. Dave is good on his word, man, and Dave will take care of the community. He will.
Yep.
So.
I'm still flying Crossfire myself. I've not jumped on the ELRS bandwagon yet.
Yeah, I'm still on Crossfire just because it's been working for me. I haven't had any issues with it not working. I've had one fail-safe in the 4+ years I've been flying. I've had one fail-safe, and it was because I flew up to this taller building to do a dive, and they had some kind of 5G antennas up there or something. And it just blasted me, and my quad's like.
Yep.
I'm like, oh no! I had a brand new Action 2 on there, brand new, never been flown, and she just goes, brr, brr. I'm just like, no. Comes down. I mean, probably at least I'd say about 100, 150 feet, straight down on the blacktop. Action 2 camera, just the back screen just completely smashed. Those are the worst, aren't they? The fail-safe damages.
Yep.
I mean, because I would much rather.
I haven't had a fail-safe since switching to Crossfire. I can't think of one that I've had.
I would much rather break something doing an epic trick or something and not nailing it or something I tried this Maddie and I broke it. I'm cool with that. But no, man, to have a freaking fail-safe and you're just like, no, it just killed a motor, a camera from a stupid fail-safe.
Yeah, I lost a drone to a lake with a fail-safe. I was running pre-scout stuff way back, running the, what were those, XSR receivers. I had pretty good luck with those, but I was just doing an early morning cruise, flying around the lake, and it just decided to fail safe, and bloop, all I heard was a splash in the water. Never did find it. It was terrible.
It's crazy.
Lost a good GoPro session with that too.
Yeah. It's crazy just how important, every part of the whole FPV drone is just so important, right? Sometimes it's easy to take one thing for granted because it's just been working for so long and you just stop thinking about it. But when you really stop and think about it, everything just has to be working perfectly and talking and everything. And it's just amazing, the technology when it's working, just how much trust and stuff it puts in you with your gear,
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the thing, that you have to get to a point where you trust the stuff that you're flying, because if you don't, I mean, you can't ever progress if you're always worried that something's going to break or stop working or not do what you want it to do, or, you have to get to that point. So that's why I like having just 2 quads. I fly they're exactly the same, fly them over and over and over again, And
Yep.
so you get to that point to where everything, you just know how it's going to work, how it's going to function, how it's going to, operate. Um, and if something breaks, you've got, you know, a backup that's going to fly exactly the same as the other one.
I
So,
used to take all four out, when I would go do a freestyle session.
hmm
For some reason, I just get terribly unlucky when I bring four. So now I just bring three and I leave one behind. And that
yep.
seems to work better for me. It's the curse of the four, I guess.
I've had better luck just bringing one with me. When I bring two, I end up breaking them. So I'll bring one. I guess maybe it forces me to fly differently or something. I don't know, but I
Yeah,
seem to
right.
do better if
You
I
tend
just
to
bring
fly a
one
little
of
bit
them.
different when you only have one.
Yeah, I guess maybe. I don't know. I still try stuff, but yeah, that way I can't break both of them at one time. I always have one that way because if I do break it, then I'm like, okay, I'm done. Go home and I've got one that works. But if I had them both, I might fly the other one and break it, and then I have no quads. So
I
you
hate
know,
the feeling of like being done because
yeah,
like
too early.
my
Yeah, it's
quads
no fun.
broke. So that's why I'm
Yeah,
like, no, I'm not going to have this feeling. I'm going to buy four. And now I'm going to be able to fly all day. And if I break two, well, it's
I
okay. I
need
got two more to
I need a
fly.
third one. I need a third one to keep back at home so I can take two with me and always have a backup that way. But
Yeah. I
at
like
some point
three.
I might.
Three's a good number. Four
Yeah,
is just because I wanted to and I can. And
yep,
I love my drones so much that I wanted a fourth. Technically, I've
yep,
got a fifth. I just haven't built it yet. It's a frame. Got all the start.
yeah,
I got all the stuff to build it, but I
yep.
just keep it all as extra parts because I'm like, I don't think I want to maintain five. It's just too much.
It gets to be pricey. I mean, that's what I said. I've got all those ones that are just like they're all salvaged because I've like pulled parts off of them, and
Yeah.
then just never did buy the parts to put them back. I'm like, yeah, I'll get to it eventually, and then I don't. So I've
Welcome in,
got
Jay Bird Drone. Good to
I probably
see you,
got I
brother.
probably got 3 or 4 5 inch ones. I've got a 7 inch one, and I've even got that 10 inch one that's got parts salvaged off of it too. But
Well, I love your slogan for the channel. Never stop flying, and I can just see the passion in you, man. You've got
oh
that
man, it's
passion.
fun.
You've got
Yeah,
that
it's so much fun.
fire. And it's so cool. Like when you can recognize that in someone else, and
Yep.
I can just see it, man. Like you've got the heart, you've got the drive, you've got the passion. I'm so glad that you're in this hobby. You're awesome.
Yep.
You're an awesome
Appreciate it.
individual, supporter in this community,
Appreciate it.
and so happy that you're in this hobby, man. Because
Yep.
you're such an inspiration to so many. I love when you talk about how you just keep flying no matter what. Just keep flying.
Oh yeah.
It's such a free feeling, and I just want
People
to
get.
share it
I think.
like with as
I
many
think people
people as
get.
we can.
I think people get too involved in um, worrying about. Well, worrying about number one, what somebody else thinks about them. For one, or worried that they don't have the latest and greatest or whatever. You know, and then there's always shoot. I mean, since I've been posting HG0 stuff, I don't know how many comments I get from people like, "Yeah, I'm glad I didn't choose that system. I'm glad I'm on this." I'm like, "Good. I'm glad you did too. Go have fun. Quit worrying about it." It's like
That's
people
that's
always
always
wanting to
been
start a
my
fight or something.
outlook. That's
It's like,
always
why you
been
want to
my
start a fight?
outlook.
Like, if you enjoy it, go use it, man. Have
Yeah.
fun.
I don't care what you fly.
Yep.
I just want you to fly.
Exactly.
Everybody has a different, different financial
Oh yeah.
situations. Everybody has
Yep.
different personal preferences, and,
Yep.
and, and that's why it's good that we have options.
Oh
Because
yeah.
that way FPV can cater to more people. And that's what
Oh
we
yeah.
need. We need to continue to grow our hobby so we can protect it. So we can
Yep.
protect our hobby, we can enjoy our hobby, and pass it on for
Yep.
generations to come. We don't want the hobby
Exactly.
to die at all.
Exactly.
We want it to
Exactly.
keep thriving. So share it, guys. Share the hobby, share the love. No matter what you fly, get in the air. Doesn't matter if someone else is flying something different than you. Well, all that
Yep.
matters is you guys are flying. You share the love of flight.
Yep.
So we can't tear each other down. We have to lift each other up. So that's what the community should be about, and that's what it's going to be about if I can help it.
Yep. That's the way I look at it too. 100%.
Even
100%.
Mavic. Even a Mavic. I don't care
Yeah,
if you fly a Mavic. You're still in the air. You still love flying. And in my eyes, you're still a pilot. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yep. Just don't do
I don't even
something
care if
stupid.
you just went to Walmart and just bought something off the shelf. Hey, that's how I got started. Right?
Yep.
I got
I
started
used
with
to
a
have
$35 off-the-shelf Walmart drone.
I had a
You got to start
SEMA
somewhere.
X9 at one point.
Yeah.
That
Exactly.
thing was terrible. That thing was terrible, but it is blind.
Yeah. No matter how you get in the hobby, we're just glad to have you in the hobby. No matter what you fly.
Yep.
Right? Fly all
That's
the
what I look
things.
at.
I don't care if you fly a kite. You're in the air.
Yep.
You love flight.
Yep.
That's right. Guys, I'm going to get ready to bring it up to a close because it's getting late. And
Yes, it is.
I've got work in the morning. And sure Stacey does as well.
Yep.
But what an awesome stream tonight. I'm so happy
Yeah,
to
I
be
enjoyed
back.
this.
So
enjoyed
happy
it.
to have you on as well. And make sure you guys check the video description for Stacey's channel. You're not going to want to miss out what he's got going on his channel. So make sure you check him out. Make sure you're subscribed and show that love. He would greatly appreciate it.
Heck yeah.
And yeah, we just look forward to seeing what more you share and coming along with the journey with you. And maybe one day, maybe we'll get to meet up somewhere at a meetup somewhere. That'd be awesome.
That would be cool. Yeah. If anybody's in Florida, hit me up.
Absolutely.
A lot of people come down for vacation.
When I do
Hit
get
me up.
down there, I will definitely hit you up for sure.
Oh yeah. Like I said,
All
I've
right,
got
my
a
friend.
huge
Well,
list of spots I'll be happy to share with people if they're down this way and they want to know places to fly. I'll send
that's
it to
what's
you.
up. That's awesome.
Yep.
Well, my friend, you have yourself a great evening.
Will do, man. Will do. You
And
do
I
the same.
will see you around on the tube. And thank you so much for coming on the show tonight.
Yep. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys, for hanging out.
Absolutely. Give him a hand, guys. Never stop flying. Never stop flying. I love it.
That's right. That's right.
Have a good night, brother.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Later. All right, guys. Give Stacey a round of applause. Thank you guys so much for all your support tonight. Greatly appreciate it. And wow, so happy to have Stacey on the show tonight. And make sure you check out his link in the description. Make sure you check him out. Awesome, awesome content creator, awesome pilot, and just so happy to have him on. And I hope you like the upgrades we've done in the studio. Like I said before, everything that comes into the channel as far as revenue, we put right back into the community for giveaways and upgrade some gear as well to hopefully give you a better experience when you're watching, hanging out with us. Yeah, so thanks so much. We're going to be back next Sunday with another live stream. That's right, with another special guest. So make sure you click that bell icon so you get notified first when I put out new content and live streams. Brand new upload drops tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're not going to want to miss that out. I actually did a review on the Sub 250 NanoFly 20, the Walk Snail Avatar Edition. That's right, I got to fly Walk Snail, and you can learn all about my experiences with it. Check out the video tomorrow. And once again, guys, thank you so much to all the patrons, channel members. Really appreciate you guys. And just all you guys for coming here and hanging out with us and watching. It greatly means the world. Tommy G, I saw you in here. Tommy G, what's up? I didn't miss you. Airflow FBV, good to see you as well. Trying to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Threx68, welcome in. Yeah, I do my best to really make sure I don't miss anybody, but yeah, just thank you for all the love and support, guys. It greatly means a lot. We're getting real close to 10K followers, and if that happens, I've got a huge giveaway planned, guys. Really important. And if you want to learn more about what goes on behind the scenes, make sure you check out my Discord server. Link is down in the video description. There's all kinds of links in there. Channel merch, Discord server, all kinds of awesome stuff for you guys. So make sure you check out the description below. And we'll see you guys next Sunday. And until then, guys, thank you so much for watching. Edrone, out.